Well, welcome again back to Toon Heist. It is the second session. To do a bit of a recap from the previous session, everybody was just minding their business out in the snow. Some people have been getting some Animus gifts, minding their own business mostly, and suddenly a came and then, well, they are on it for the hunt of it and trying to figure out the very mystery that is of this heist. And now we have to heist a building to get a staff back. But before we can actually go in, we obviously need to look at the location. We need to plan ahead. With that, we're gonna, as we, this is sort of like a cinematic take, but we're going to be entering like down and seeing the HQ of Flocks of a Feather, who is the group that is going to be helping our party. And with that, how about each of you introduce yourselves and who you're playing as?
Start
Are
for
we
the
going
top.
top down?
Yeah, we'll do top down. So D's first.
All right, D, that's your cue.
I
D?
was muted. Hello. I was talking for
Good
a little
start.
bit there.
Good start.
For a second, we thought you were dead. The D in
I'm
pink
B.
stands for dead.
I'm playing Cloaker, the man in the cloak thief. Bit of a cynic, but plays along well enough.
Well, hello. I'm Miss Rose, and I'm playing only the stealthiest of imps, Koda, my little barbarian. He's very excited to cause mischief, to say the least.
Hi, I'm Vamp, and I'll be playing Mersel. Yeah, that's all I got.
Evil-minded man.
He's just a little tired because it's very early in the morning in game time.
Yeah. Oh fuck, that's my cue. Hi. Hi, hello, howdy. I am Whirlwind Mindset, aka Whirl. I am not your DM for the day. I'm sorry, that's my intro, and I keep feeling the impulse to say it. And if I don't say those words in that order, it feels wrong. But I am one of the players today, and I'm going to be playing Detective Meta A. Morpheus.
All right.
He's here to have a good time.
he's just vibing. But yes, we, as said, we are in the FOF HQ, FOF for short, because why not acronyms? It is very early in the morning for you guys, and you had some time to sleep over. And now we are getting ready to plan. Everybody is sitting around a table at the moment. You have a big map in front of you that is the layout to this venue that you'll be going to. And of course, the night before, you had a lot of planning about this, and it seems like you're about ready to head on out. But first, we have to go over your plans just one last time so everybody's on the same page.
Yay!
And Dahlia kind of walks up to the table with that in mind. She has a little coffee cup in her feathery hand. Question mark. Dahlia goes,
And wing, it's one of the two.
it's a very good morning to you all. Do we have, is everybody clear with the plans that we made the night before? If we need to go over it, could one of you read it out loud to me again?
Who has the dock open?
Koda's not going to read it. It's not his job.
I'll go grab the dock and read it, I guess.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, gotta scroll all the way up in this mess. Okay,
Sorry.
so
Oh, don't worry.
which plan am I reading?
The very
It should
first
be
one.
your plan, funny enough.
It's appropriate.
Funny how that works.
It's quite
And
fitting, actually.
Meta, like, waits for somebody else to talk. And then when he realizes that nobody else is gonna talk, he's like, Well, all right. Seeing as it was my narrator who came up with it, so our plan at the moment is we're going to have Pick look up when the work day starts at the venue, and we're going to try and arrive a bit ahead of that time to avoid complications. Then we're splitting into two teams. The birds, aside from you, Miss Dahlia, will wait at the bottom of the terrace. The main party, that's
Mhm.
myself, Mersel, Cloaker, Dahlia, and Koda, enter the building through the staff entrance. We've all got rope in our hammer space. You better have gone to the store to grab that, because I know that I just grabbed it from the storeroom, but
We
I know
also
that
have
other
some
people.
supplied here, so we should be all good. Each of you should have one in your hammer space for today.
Mm-hmm. Um, Dahlia, you, me, and Marcel, we are disguising by use of disguise self.
Mhm.
Cloaker, you mentioned that we could wear you in, which admittedly still sounds a little uncomfortable for you, so I'm a little worried, but presumably we can hide you under disguise self as well. And Koda, you can hide in Marcel's hat until we're inside. We're gonna make our way to the
Koda is
clothes
grinning.
closet. We can make our way to the clothes closet, where we will attempt to find any spare uniforms to disguise Koda, Cloaker, and the birds. Once Cloaker, once you're awake, both you and Koda are disguised. We move out to the terrace to an easily defensible and out of the way spot. None of us are very strong, except for maybe Koda. So Koda, me, and Dahlia will be in charge of
Mhm.
lowering the ropes for the birds and bringing them up, while Cloaker and Marcel watch our backs. Once everyone is up and disguised, we split up by specialization. Koda, you go with Pick to find the security room and watch their back while they see what can be
Uh-huh.
done about the tech and whether or not they can find a guard schedule. If you run into trouble, and here they put their hands flat on the table and give everyone a very serious look, disable them quietly, no murder. We do not need
Koda
an
is
extra
pouting.
lawsuit on our hands. I know
Uh,
you can knock them out. Just make sure you do it quiet, because we don't want to draw more trouble. Yeah.
yeah, I'm a fence. I'm not a assassin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course, I wouldn't want to hurt anyone.
Yep. Dahlia, you and Cloaker are heading to the exhibition hall and
Mhm.
looking for the staff. If it's not there, check the
Yeah.
storage room. Um.
And I do believe Pick has also handed me and Cloaker the scanner. Which what
Yes.
was that again? Pick also kind of he pokes his head in quite a bit and goes, "Well, yes, but here's the thing about the scanner because it is quite important. I made some modifications myself overnight. It was a little intense, but I should be fine. Um, what happened here is, unlike my previous attempts with the scanner not only is very loud, but it also takes time. Uh, two of these things we should not be having necessarily. So this one, it's a bit quieter. It's bigger by a bit. It's kind of like the size of a brick here, and well, it's going to take a while. And because it's not like the other ones, you can't actually like get an item out of it right away. Instead, it is going to be scanning the object in a 360 way, and then it's going to travel that information back to my computer right here. And he taps on that, and we should be able to actually make a replica here. Now, I'm not sure what other procedures or things are around that yet, so I will be with Coda the whole time. We will be trying to figure out what security is also inside the building.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh. Good.
I have two things I need to ask.
Mhm.
One,
Shoot.
uh, can we make sure to use hammer space as little as possible? Because, well, I know it's convenient. It's not reliable all the time. I've had jobs
Oh,
go bad
definitely. It's
because of
not
it.
always reliable, so definitely keep a good grip onto certain things if you can help it. Um, Only take things out if you really need to. It's just common sense, but common
Yeah.
Uh,
sense is not that common.
I just suggest we bring the ropes with us.
Yeah, of course, because we're gonna need it any which way. We're gonna have to get up
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
onto that terrace as you were explaining.
Right.
And then my second thing here is on our map. If we could find some place to do uh, pardon me, do the scanning quietly, could we? You said it's quiet. If we brought
Yeah,
it somewhere private,
it's quiet enough. I'm not
mm,
sure how they have it set up for the staff, so I believe we're gonna have to play this one by ear. Uh, 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 Beyond the fact that I don't really have noticeable ears, but that's besides the point. We
well, if
should be
we
able to
wanted to
do this
be,
as playing by ear, so to speak. We should be able to do this.
if we wanted to play a
Koda raises a
little,
hand.
yeah. What's up, little guy?
Cle- Cleaning closet? Storage room?
Uh,
Hmm?
if it's close enough to the hall, possibly.
Cleaning closet.
Possibilities. Again,
He points to the
we are
map.
gonna have to play this one by ear because you never know what you might find ahead of time.
I also have kind of a bad idea, but uh, I don't know.
Ideas
Well,
are
if you
only
have something
bad
to
if
give
they
the
end up
table,
not
do
working.
it now.
Shoot.
I like bad
Uh,
ideas.
I could kind of just, lay over the staff, pretend I'm some sort of like
Oh, jeez.
cloth they're gonna use to unveil it while we're scanning it.
Well,
Possibilities. We could definitely give that a go as well.
It's
Uh,
definitely a thought for if you need to
that
dodge
could
someone's
definitely be
eyes,
good.
but I think they might notice if there was, a, a previously unpresent piece of fabric over display case.
True, but who knows? I don't know how many people are working there, so maybe someone did it and didn't tell everyone else.
Yeah. And also, rule of funny. But
Emergency plan only.
emergency plan. Good thought. Good shout.
Well, that's good information to know. Is there anything else on those notes that we need to go over again, or is everybody on the same page?
uh yeah, I was almost
Yeah.
finished reading it. Um
Mhm.
so where was I?
What?
Koda
Oh yeah,
raises a
Sorry.
hand again.
What did Coda? What did Coda have to say?
Koda? What's up, kid?
This
Need a distraction?
distractions would
Need
definitely be
distraction?
helpful. Again, we will have to wait and see what situations
He
there
points.
are, and we can go
He points to Kiwi.
a key. What kind of key?
Kiwi.
Oh, kiwi.
The bird.
Sorry. Yes,
Hmm.
that's me, Kiwi. What's up?
They want explosives.
Oh,
good.
that's right. I think I remember you kept tugging at me the night before about that one. You know what? I actually do have a couple of things to give you guys. Just keep it handy in your hammer space. Maybe don't jump from really high places if you can help it. Um, but it's nothing too dangerous. I'm not gonna put you guys at risk. That would be too much. But I do have a couple things that you should be able to do. Let's see here. I have, and he's beginning to go through his hammer space personally, as I am looking at my notes.
Goodness. Can I make a comment
Okay,
as
first,
meta, I guess?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Distraction is a good idea, but only if we get in a lot of trouble and we need an easy out. Because if we make too much of a ruckus and we let them know that we are here, they might tighten security the night we actually go in, and
Oh yes.
that will make things harder.
Oh yes. That you got an excellent point right there. Thankfully, some of these bombs and things I have in my hammer space right here, they're not exactly what you'd expect to be possible, but. Mhm.
Koda's grinning again.
You're the one who made the magic money machine, so
Of
So
course you say
or
that.
sorry, Kiwi is beginning to look through his hammer space, and the first thing they pull out is this very bright bomb. It's like about it's pretty small. It's pretty small, and he actually hands it over to you, Coda. Now
Grabby
don't
hands.
you dare lose this thing. I'm gonna make this a ward. Um, you are welcome to use any of these during this time, but if you end up not using any of these items by the end of the heist, I will take them back because I don't want to put anything at risk. Do I sound clear to you? Do I
Uh,
sound clear to y'all?
uh, that might have been not the right choice of words because that's us pushing to find an excuse.
Yeah, Koda looks very contemplative, I
You
suppose.
can use it as long as it's for this heist. If you're not using them for the heist, I'm taking it back.
Koda scowls, but eventually nods in agreement as he grabby hands
Listen.
takes the bomb.
You'll have fun with this. I can promise you. So the bomb that has been given to Koda, it's called the hit or miss bomb.
Oh my god.
I'm in love already.
Please tell me it's not what it
And
sounds like.
he simply nods and just goes, "Okay, you basically with this thing right here, Koda, I believe it. Yes, Koda, what you want to do with this bomb? You might not want to use it unless you really need extra items. Does that make sense?
Oh.
It's
He
more of a
tilts his
handy
head to
tool
the
than a
side,
blower
his
up,
ears
but
fluttering.
it'll make more sense when you actually use it. I can promise. Basically, if you need it, if you need like say I don't know, say like you need like an extra rope or two. This is the kind of thing you would use in that very situation. Or maybe you need extra weapons. You know, maybe you're fighting somebody and you need extra weapons.
Hopefully we won't be
Hello,
Who am I
sorry
to
I
judge?
tried. Sorry, I muted myself out of nowhere.
It's okay.
I have to like
Okay.
do something.
You're doing good. It's okay.
Welcome back, Vamp.
Welcome.
Hello.
Actually, speaking of, while at it, Kiwi then goes up to you, Mersel, and pulls out yet another bomb. But this time, it's a very colorful bomb that looks actually like the shape of a present. It could definitely be mistaken to be just a present.
Mersel takes one look at this, and he has flashbacks to when Gil and Prim gave him boogie bombs.
Oh god.
You'll probably like this one then. Kiwi puts like a gentle hand onto it and kind of shoves it into your hands and goes, "Okay, you need to keep a good watch on this thing. Keep it safe in your hammer space until you really, really need to use it. I like to call this one the confetti party bomb.
Like the boogie bomb?
Basically, you only want to really use this thing when you need like a distraction or you need to get out of something real quick. You know?
Let's hope we don't have to use it then.
Yeah, let's hope not. I mean, we should be going pretty smoothly." And as he's about to give another bomb to one of you, Amanda actually speaks up for once. "Well, that was all nice and lovely, but shouldn't you guys get going? It is getting nearing the time of the opening, isn't it? It is what, 10 a.m. you said that they open the doors for their employees? Well, yeah, yes, but Amanda, we still got. Well, you should really get going. They should really get going, you know.
Talk and move. Talk and move.
No time to delay, right?"
Okay, can I
Can I
roll
roll
insight
insight?
on
Yeah.
can we roll insight on Miss Amanda? Because she's acting sus.
I'd
Oh,
Yeah,
love
you
to,
can.
but
You can roll. You
Cloaker
can
is
roll.
not a
You can
people
roll. Go
person.
for it.
20.
Okay, well that's solid.
12.
Koda's busy with his bomb. He doesn't care.
Well, let's see. You know, as far as you can tell, the intentions feel pretty true. She kind of wants you guys to get out there right away, but you're not entirely sure why.
Is that all you're giving me for this 20?
Oh, you did 20. I'm sorry, I saw Whirl's first. Okay, well, with the 20, on that note, it's still about the same, but you kind of know that she really wants you out of the room.
Herself
Huh.
just. Don't like that.
That's sus.
I
Uh,
think someone actually look over.
I know you guys are on a really tight schedule, and I know there's a lot.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to have to stick around for too long for the party. Let's get going.
Oh,
Alright.
out of character, quickly. Two things. One,
Mhm.
don't forget the tasty soup pot.
Ah, yes. Oh, yes. And before you actually reminded me, Mersel, because you don't have your red bracelet with you right now, I want you to take 1 point off of your constitution.
Oh, geez, sorry.
Oh, wait, 1 point off the constitution?
Yes.
I already took one off because of like one more?
Yeah.
Oh god.
You took
Oh,
one off
geez,
last
sorry.
time, and
I
because
did
it's the
that.
next day, another point's taken off.
Wait, hold
Jeez.
on. Can I DM you something?
The concern is real.
Yes, I
The
know.
other question is,
In the DMs I get. But this time it's because of the bracelet.
Oh boy.
Because it's been a day, you're losing points because of that. You feel a slight bit of fatigue, but otherwise you're ready to roll.
Alright, okay. Oh boy. One constitution removed.
oh
Yep.
gee, I hope you have an Acon.
No, he does not have a high con. Right now, are down to 17.
Okay. Well, that's
You said points are
concerning.
down to what?
17.
Okay.
That's not high.
No, it isn't.
Because
Um,
remember, he lost 2 points of constitution
Yep.
between these two games. He went from 12
So
con
wizard
to
now.
10. So he lost his modifiers.
Okay, I thought you said
Wizard
your
help.
constitution went down to 17.
No, his constitution went down to 10. His HP went down to 17.
God.
Welcome to the mortal realm.
Well, let's hope you don't stumble and fall onto a pit of spikes or something.
Let's hope. Yeah, let's try and keep this one
That'll suck.
alive.
Thankfully, there is not much fighting this time. I
Okay.
can promise you. Well, unless
Aw.
you instigate it, but that's another story. Anyway, Panda is rushing you
anything.
guys to go outside, and Dahlia goes, "Well,
Oh,
if you
I did
really
have that
want
other
us to
question.
get going, we should probably get
They-
going. Because I mean, he did say that the doors do open at 10 for employees."
I had that other out of character question.
Mhm.
Otis not coming up the ropes, right?
As far as I can tell, no, I'm not going up the rope.
All right, cool. Well, that was out of character, but still, point stands.
It got into character anyway. It's just like a moment of silence and just Otis speaks up.
Okay. All right, that's all I
Just so
got.
I
you
ain't
know.
got any
Just so you know.
hands.
Exactly. I was like, what, we gonna just wrap it around him?
I mean, we could always tie a plank to the bottom of the ropes and have him stand on it, but that would
That's
probably take some
pushing
more
it.
time.
That's pushing
It's
it.
okay.
Dakota's
We'll
only
find
that
another way
strong.
inside with Kiwi. It'll be okay.
All right. So you two
Alright,
scout
ready.
the outside. Make sure, try and find us some exits and entrances. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
And with that, it seems like you guys are off to the place. And as you guys do approach this building, it is indeed about 10 a.m. in the morning, maybe a little bit before that. And, well, you can see the sun rising a little bit more. It's nearly done with the rising and everything.
I ain't much of a morning person, but let's get the job done. So we're just waiting for a clear path.
Pretty much.
As you
How
guys are
busy?
wandering around, you do see a couple employees beginning to walk inside, so you can't see what their uniforms roughly resemble.
Okay.
How busy is
did
the
someone-
street around the building?
There's like a couple buildings on each side of the building.
Well, we
but
already know the
aside from that, it's-
terrace is is pretty clear so long as we aren't obvious about
yeah,
it.
the
'Cause
backside
remember, it
is
was
pretty
overlooking some
clear. Like there
buildings,
is
or you
the
know,
backside is
residences or whatever it
relatively
was.
clear. Yeah,
Wasn't the
the
plan that we
backside
were
is
Ike
pretty
going to be
clear. Last
going?
you guys checked.
Guys, weren't we going to be going into the staff entrance? We went over the plan.
Yeah, I thought so. Also, is Ike speaking? Am I
Yeah.
having the problem again?
Yes.
Yeah, you.
I am here. Hello, hello.
Yeah, but
If
if it's worth
you
anything,
don't hear me and I'm babbling, just refresh.
if it's worth
I
anything,
know sometimes I'll have to refresh too at some point.
if it's worth anything, Ike, you're not like cutting out as often as you were last game.
Yeah,
Oh,
which
thank
is really
goodness.
good.
I'm glad. Now let's hope that doesn't jinx it.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
Knock on wood. Wait, fuck, I don't have any wood. Yes, I have wood.
I knocked for you.
I knocked on my
Meta
book.
knocks on a tree.
All right. So just to keep us on track a little bit. So who am I piggybacking on?
Mm,
We didn't go over that. We should have gone over
we
that.
did not decide on that, have we?
I mean, I
Good.
won't have much say. So I guess whoever's fastest.
Probably Meta. Wouldn't the logic be Meta because closer in height to you?
Oh,
I
that's true.
suppose.
Works with me if it works with you.
Unless you want it
Sure.
to be a
Also,
cape,
I'm Coda's gonna
up a
take
hat.
the hat.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the person who's gonna stay on the ground.
Yeah, Coda's gonna be a little busy in the hat.
All right.
Yeah.
And
And
Cloaker
as you guys
takes
are
the deep.
speaking, Dahlia actually does use her disguised self on herself, and now she has the uniform that every other person of the
Oh,
staff is wearing. It has a
oh,
golden
we never
trim
went
on it.
over.
It has a golden trim on it, and it comes with a nice little hat, kind of like a bellhop hat, sort of. And then it also is blue, so blue and gold.
We never went over my request.
Hmm?
You remember back in the DMs, I asked it if could get thieves tools.
Mhm.
So is that a no?
Ah, that's right. You don't have thieves' tools yet, but
Okay.
Pick does. Don't forget that the other birds are with you too, and well, wouldn't you know it, Pick does in fact have thieves' tools on him.
Oh, that's good. Okay, that solves my problem there.
I
He
also
doesn't
got
mind
there.
sharing.
Our penguin has questionable morality.
Don't we
It's
all?
just part of the job. It's fine.
But yeah, like out of character, by the way, this is Mersel speaking. It probably would make
Mhm.
sense for Cloaker to be with Meta because he's the closest in height. But then again, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Like ideally, no one will even see Cloaker because of the disguise self.
Yeah,
Oh,
true.
yeah. Any which
Good
way.
point. Cloaker.
I don't know.
Cloaker, it's Cloaker's
Meta,
choice.
yeah, Meta seems to be the most I don't know, quickest.
Why, thank you. It comes with the career.
All right.
What do you do again?
Huh?
Hmm?
What? No, never mind.
Librarian.
Yep. Artifact Retrieval Division.
Oh, okay.
Ding!
Well,
Extra
That was
effect.
good timing.
if you need to cast a spell, I guess it's my time.
It is indeed time to put on your disguises as you
Yeah,
see
just
fit.
to wake me up, just kind of just I guess drop me on the ground.
Sounds
Hopefully
good.
that
We will
doesn't
keep
hurt
that in
you
mind.
or anything.
Oh, it's incredibly uncomfortable, but it's for the job.
All
Aw.
right. Well, thanks for taking one
then.
for the team, man.
Greater
problem.
good.
And of course, the rest of the birds, they also nod in agreement, and they begin to head over to the back of the building where the terrace is located.
Cloaker will kind of motion with his head for. Wow, my brain just completely skipped on the name.
Meta.
Meta, sorry.
It's fine.
It just kept saying Marcel, and I knew that wasn't right.
No, he's
No,
the
I'm with
magic
Marcel.
man.
Yeah,
I'm with
just
Who Magic Man.
motions
Magic
for
man.
Meta to kneel down a little bit so he can climb on their shoulders.
He does so.
As he climbs on the shoulders, he kind of like wraps around the cloak part, and there's a bit of pressure like on the center of their back, and then all at once it collapses, and it just feels like regular clothing.
Mm-hmm.
So weird. So weird. I love it.
Not too unlike working with the Libris Fabula. Anyway, he stands back up again, and he does something with his hand, like right next to his face. Like he taps sort of at the corner of his eye, and like bright red sparks dance across his face for a second, and then you are no longer looking at the sort of figure in the title card. Instead, he is a tall, tall, Frankenali Toon with curly blonde hair and bright blue eyes. Eyes never seem to change. And his, of course, bright red jacket and hat have been replaced with the blue and gold uniform, which he kind of looks at with a bit of distaste and says, blue really isn't my color.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well,
I'd say
then
you're
let's
more of
get
an
the
autumn,
job
but I'm
done, then.
unconscious.
But I'm unconscious.
And I also
So-
assume that Mersel also begins to get into this disguise as well.
Yep, he does. He has the exact same spell. So he just like waves his hand and he is dressed as one of the staff members. Albeit a much taller one than Meta, but still.
Koda's been
Alright,
watching
as you
this
guys-
with like curiously, but now he looks to Mersel, arms raised.
Oh, alright. And Swell kind of crouches down and takes off his hat and flips it over.
I think
Alright.
he gets in the hat with this devious expression on.
Koda
God,
comes
the one in the
in.
title card.
Mersa actually goes, do not eat everything in there. You'll get a stomachache.
It's the
You're
expression
not
in the
getting
title
the
card,
script.
and Koda makes no promises.
Oh, God.
Oh, is that egg?
Okay.
Ike,
What? What happened?
hello?
What
I thought
happened?
I heard a bird.
Hello? Oh,
I can hear
Dahlia?
you. Yeah, what were you saying?
Oh, it's Dahlia. Well, I certainly wouldn't want Koda to get a stomachache while we're on a heist, is what she was trying to say.
Yeah, that tends to be very inconvenient. And usually it's because you're poisoned, not because you ate too much.
But we do need we do need everybody on board. So let's try our best. And
We're
with
gonna
that,
do
you
Koda's
guys.
already in the hat.
Everything's gonna be fine. Can Meta roll for metatextual information?
Ah, yes, to talk with the narrator.
Yeah,
Yes, sure. Is there a specific thing you're willing to ask, or?
because the metatextual knowledge feature is basically, oh shit, that's a 24, nice. Is basically like inciting into a person, place, or situation. He's metatextual information in the situation and trying to find out, okay, so roughly how crazy is this gonna get? How
Oh,
scared should we be, and how ready do I have to be to make us do a swerve?
with the 24. Well, you probably got the best out of the best here for the feedback
I'd
about
hope
that one coming from the
I'd hope
narrator.
the
But the
scouting.
narrator also kind of states that it feels like you kind of have to get through this. There's going to be some bumps and roads up ahead, but it does seem like you should be able to get through fine. But do keep a good watch and watch your back.
Keep an eye out for plot twists. Got it.
Basically what you'd expect. Nothing special there.
This is gonna be fine. We're guaranteed to make it through to the end of it. This is apparently a second part in a 3-part thing. Or more parts.
I like how you say that when Koda and Cloaker are already out of the picture here.
Yeah, Mersa is looking at Meta like, maybe you should have done that earlier.
You hear a muffled
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, as you guys approach the building, you decide to go through the left-hand side of the building, closest towards the dressing room.
Mhm.
because you saw a couple employees go through that way. And as you enter, it seems like just like your generic hallway for the venue area. There is the dressing room right up ahead. Thankfully, you don't see any security cameras in that direct area, but it looks like there is one just around the corner if one of you poked your head around it.
Mhm.
But thankfully, look at that. The dressing room's right in front of you.
Red, is there anyone inside?
Only one way to find out. The door's closed.
I was gonna say roll perception.
Yeah, you can roll perception.
Because that's always useful to do in a new location.
Yeah, the wind's picking up outside. My windows are rattling.
Oh no.
It's to set the mood.
It's setting the
Kind of
mood.
important.
With the
Kind of important question I forgot to ask.
Mhm.
If Meta were to get hit, who would take the hit?
Oh, good question.
well, that is a good question. I
Hopefully
mean,
it won't happen.
worst case scenario, if that was the case, talking. If that is the case, then I would probably split the points in half, so both of you would probably get a little bit of it, but it wouldn't be the full damage.
Seems fair.
Huh.
Because, I mean, you're
Hopefully-
on another person, so I mean.
Yeah. Hopefully it won't come to that though. We're trying to be stealthy.
Also, did you roll?
Yeah,
on
let's not
oh,
get
yes, you
whacked
did.
around in the scouting mission.
Hold on, let me roll perception as well.
Yeah, you can roll.
that's also a
We do the same thing. So.
Well,
How
that
fitting!
helps.
How fitting! The two of you look around. You don't really see anybody at the moment. You kind of lean up against the dressing room door out of curiosity, and you don't hear anything.
Well, nothing venture, nothing gain. Mersel's gonna open the door.
Okay, then you open the door, and there is nothing. It's just like a couple coat racks. There's one other like employee outfit uniform in the corner. There's like a like the fancy mirror with all the. There's also that, and there's a little couch inside the room as well. And keep note, there are no cameras in this room.
All right, clear coast.
I hope there are no cameras in here.
Out of character. Now what? I listened to the entire plan, but now I've completely zoned out and forgotten most of it.
Don't worry.
Sorry,
I've
what
got
was
us
that? It cut
covered.
out for me.
You gotta go
Vamp
to
zoned out on the plan.
Well, next up, you guys, as your plan states,
My
you are able
character
to
is
finally...
good at remembering and listening to things. This player, however, is not.
Yeah, so basically what we're doing next is we're heading in here and waking up Cloaker and letting Koda out of the hat, getting those two disguised if we can. If we can't, we're finding... We are finding a different method.
Yes.
All right. So roll hammer space to pull Koda out.
That's why.
Honestly, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Okay, then.
What do you take out?
Fumble. Hold on, I have
What do you
to
take
pull
out,
up
then?
his fumble chart first.
Okay, so Koda just sees his hand go right past him.
Oh my god!
There
Oh
goes
my
the
god!
hand.
What is he gonna? 6. Instead of Koda, what he takes off is a pair of old heel boots that look a few sizes too small for him. And as he pulls it out, he goes, "Oh, no, not that." And he puts it back in.
Why do you still have those if they're too small for you?
That's another one. Okay.
I thought he sees the other hand go on the other side of him.
Perhaps he just like
15.
having
All right.
things
He
on
takes
him.
out bottles of shampoo that seem to are the kind that you would see in a bathhouse or a hotel, and judging by the slightly guilty yet satisfied expression he has as he puts those back in, he probably did steal them from the bathroom.
For shame, Mersel. For shame.
50%
Hey,
difficulty on both
Those
times.
like travel size.
Hey, that bathhouse got me cursed.
All right, fair enough. Carry on.
So what would it be now that it's been 50% difficulty times 2?
That would be 25% difficulty, I think.
No, for each time.
Does that make it? I don't think that makes
Ooh.
it.
Okay, that should work.
No, that should
That
work.
should-
That's
Yeah,
why
I
we
know,
bring
it
that back
doesn't-
to a 10.
Yeah, that should work.
All right, so he reaches in one final time, and he finally pulls out Koda.
Koda's laughing, but he also has candy stuffed in his face, so he's kind of spewing a little bit.
Ew, kid, clean that up.
He's
gonna-
got candy stuck all over his fur. He's just covered in
Well,
sugar.
Well, I'm glad at least you're having fun.
Absolutely coated in sugar.
He
Does anyone have
solidly-
prestidigitation?
No, I
Um,
don't.
Not.
Wait, do
Hmm,
I?
I don't think I do.
Wait, I think I do. Shit, did I forget that? Like, Meta asks, does anyone have prestidigitation? Oh, wait. And then, like, they put one hand to their pendant and snap the fingers on their other hand. And Koda, you are now no longer covered in sticky.
He can't tell if he's grateful or not, but he
Clean-
licks his fingers
clean as
regardless,
a
hoping for the
whistle.
last bits of sugar. I know, is
And
I
Meta also uses it to clean up any sugar that might have fallen on the ground.
Is Ike
Valid.
talking? Do I have to reload?
I have not talked.
Is
Hello,
Ike
hello.
talking?
I am here.
Because I see the thing lighting up.
Hello.
We can hear you.
Yeah, they were
I
talking.
can hear. Good.
Hey!
Ding.
Ding! Okay.
The ding is for when you cast prestidigitation.
I mean, yeah, that's
Alright.
appropriate given
All right,
Meta's
anyone who
aesthetic.
has all right, to anyone who has a laptop, how do I stop my laptop from getting messages meant for my phone?
I have no idea. How did you even manage to make it do that?
When my
Yeah,
laptop
I'm
broke,
afraid I
like
don't
when my
know.
laptop broke, like the screen couldn't open completely. In the last ditch effort, I did a system update.
Mm.
Oh, yikes. Meta's going to take
okay.
Cloaker off and set him on the couch. Because, just throwing someone on the
So
floor
Koda,
sounds rude.
Koda's decided that he's grateful that he's no longer sticky and gives Meta a quick thumbs up. He continues licking the claws of his other hand, though, hoping for sugar.
Mersel
Meta
is
gives
just
him finger guns.
Mersel is just eyeing Koda and praying to the wishing star that he's not gonna get the sugar rush in the middle of the night.
Who knows? It might
So
be
far, he
to your
seems calm. He
benefit.
seems to. Yeah, he seems relatively calm so far, but that doesn't necessarily mean much.
Yeah, listen, Soul Baby sat baby when she was younger. He knows. He knows.
This is gonna happen.
Well, so I see, as far as I can see, there is one other uniform in here. I don't think that's enough of the other birds, but 2 of them are going to be outside, which leaves only Pick, really, to be with us, I think.
Wait, is there a uniform for Koda as well? Koda and Cloaker?
Shit.
Technically, what you can do is, because the uniform is a jacket and a hat, it does seem possible that you could put the jacket onto Cloaker, and then put the hat onto Koda.
It's true, we could. Just give Koda the hat.
But there was a reason. There was a reason why we had to do it this way. Is because Cloaker refused to wear other clothes.
Oh, good point.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, because
Oh,
he
yeah.
falls apart as soon as like someone put their hat on him.
Yeah, he
Well,
collapsed.
But you
we
do
should
need
still
to
give
be
Koda the
cautious,
hat, though.
Yeah.
You can still give Koda the hat.
Yeah,
And we
Koda
can
wants the
keep
hat.
the jacket.
Dahlia hands Koda the hat.
Koda
Yeah.
puts on the hat.
Well,
He
that
strikes a
looks quite
pose.
fitting on you, actually.
He strikes
You
a
look very
pose.
smart, kid.
Very lovely.
Meta's gonna look over at Cloaker, who is still on the couch, and be like, "Rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty."
It does take a minute. You watch as at first it's just flat on the couch, and then it kind of fills up like there's someone inside of it now.
So it's
And
like
he-
one of those beds that slowly inflates with air.
Yeah, kinda. And then he sits up and he rubs his forehead. He's like, "All right, we're in. Where is this a changing room?
Yeah.
Did
Yes,
we
it
just
is.
make it
We are on,
inside and then you
yes.
took me off?"
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the plan.
I thought I was gonna stick around for a while, and then you dropped me off when we were passing by the main room.
That's probably a good
That is
idea.
true. That is true. Though we kind of do need you to be conscious in case,
Fair enough.
extra eyes, extra hands. 'Cause
Yeah, just
you never know.
just give
If
me a
anyone-
second.
If anyone asks, you're a guest, and we're showing you around on the place because you wanted to scope out the venue beforehand because you wanted to see where the best locations would be to let me spin the mental wheel here.
Throw my own party.
No, you could, and
Yeah.
can
For
no,
your own
You
party.
could say it's like for a business meeting.
Yeah, you're looking for a
or
meeting hall. You're looking
or
for a meeting hall.
I'm planning a retirement party. Got it.
We can go with that then. I was gonna say
How
we could
old
do a
is he?
wedding as well as another one, but that works.
Anyway, moving away from that question.
So what we need to do is we need to make our way to the terrace, which it kind of looks like it goes upwards from here.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, why'd Whirl one roll that?
Oh, that was me rolling.
Whirl?
Meta has a basically an excuse table.
Oh, amazing!
Excellent.
Oh my god.
I love
It's like
it.
Scott
I approve.
Pilgrim's.
Oh
I got
my
a pee wheel.
gosh.
But it's probably time to get a move on, and
Yeah.
so it's like, we can't
agree
keep
with
staying around like this forever. Someone could come in.
Yeah, and also we probably shouldn't move all as one group, but we should keep each other within line of sight.
Maybe we can give.
I would like to point out a character. I'd like to point out to the map I drew. That could work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, that's definitely like I kind of referenced off of that a little bit myself actually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
That way we'd
it'll
split up.
work out pretty good in terms of layout. So
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I
Mhm.
just got to get my partner and head to where they're keeping where we
But
think
I
they're
mean,
keeping the
there's
stuff.
Yeah,
Dahlia
you're
also
with
pipes
Dahlia.
up before Dahlia pipes up and goes, "Well, I mean, there's not too many of us. We should be able to wander out together. If need be, we can sort of space ourselves out and try to go to the same location."
I'll take back then. Sol points out because he is the tallest of the group. If he were to walk in front of anyone, no one will be able to see shit.
That is true.
All right, then
Yeah, that
Koda,
means
you're in
Koda's
front.
going in the-
Then.
Apparently.
And I suppose I will be towards the front with Koda, I suppose.
Mhm.
All right. Koda looks ready to march.
All right, I'm gonna
Alright.
shadow Dahlia, and I'm going to roll stealth to like stay out of easy notice.
Can we
Yeah.
roll stealth for being like just inconspicuous? Not
Sure.
necessarily hiding,
you
but
can.
just inconspicuous.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that.
Suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Yeah, that's a natural
Exactly.
one.
Can I argue
Alright.
performance for acting?
Oh,
Oh,
it could
no.
definitely be performance as well. I would go with either one, stealth or performance, whichever one you
Can I
feel is more appropriate for you.
Can I argue deception because you're technically
Oh.
like trying to
I see.
deceive people?
That's
I mean, you're not necessarily deceiving someone right in front of you at the moment, but yeah, I mean, if you feel that's really comfortable, then yeah, go for it.
Please roll
I'm
better
just
than
trying to
than
hide.
mine.
Roughly.
Okay.
Koda's loud and proud.
Koda, you are marching forward. It's almost like you're actually part of a marching band. You don't have anything to perform with, but you have your hand in the same position as one. Dahlia should probably roll as well. That would probably be handy, wouldn't it? Let me pull up her heckin' stats. What is her stats? Let's see. +2. Just in. Okay.
Well, worse than
she's
mine.
doing the same thing. She does the same thing with you, Koda.
Aw.
I'll go with you, sweetie.
Aw, indulging the child.
And then right after, in the lineup, I believe next it was Cloaker.
Mhm.
You're just
Yeah.
trying to slither along pretty smoothly.
Well, I'm
It's
trying to
it's
hide
not
behind
the
Delia, but she's
great.
walking so weirdly out of step.
Yeah, like if you look at it enough, you can definitely see there's like such a there's a delay in stepping. It looks like it definitely looks kind of off. Then moving on to the higher rolls, Mersel, you're at the very back. You're kind of just like your walk feels a little stiff, but you seem to be doing pretty all right. It's kind of like awkwardly walking into your new workplace for the first day.
Mhm.
And meanwhile, Meta, you are nailing it pretty good. I don't think anybody would have suspected you to be out of place, really. There's plenty of different employees that have different looks, different styles. You kind of fit in right in with the crowd based on what you saw before entering the building.
The key to
And as
pulling
you
off
guys,
any bullshit is confidence.
Yeah, look like you belong.
and as you guys are wandering, thankfully, not too many security cameras in the way. There is one down in the hallway you just went down. You can hear some staff members further down that way, but thankfully you're not going in that direction. Instead, you go
Mhm.
to the main ballroom, which is towards the terrace, and as you enter, funny enough, you actually see the staff itself. It's sitting on a stage, and it's covered with a glass box.
Well, that was
Unlucky.
easy.
A little too easy.
Yeah.
And of course, there's also staircases on both sides that lead up to the terrace as well.
Hmm. Let's
Anyone
not
in
go.
the room? There anyone in the room?
Actually, funny you say that. As you guys are entering the room, there is, in fact, one employee in one of the furthest right-hand corners who is minding his business, setting up a camera. It's not like the security cameras that you've seen, but it looks more like sort of like a performing, like it's kind of like a movie camera. It looks like
I,
somebody's going to be streaming this whole event the next day.
I,
And
I,
he's minding
can
his
I,
business, but he looks up slightly, and you can tell that he's making eye contact with you. Oh, contact.
can I roll metatextual information to get his name, please?
Oh, jeez.
What did you want to say, Whirl?
Can I
I
roll
bet Ike doesn't
metatextual
have a name.
metatextual information to get his name, please? I have a gag that I want to do.
The name of this employee?
Yes.
Unfortunately, all the employees don't have name tags on them,
No,
so
I
you
was gonna
can't
roll
tell what his name is.
metatextual. I was gonna roll metatextual information to get it. 'Cause
Oh,
that's one of the things that metatextual information can do is get you someone's name.
okay, do that then. Yes.
Oh, wow.
I'm
Great.
looking for information about this guy, so like, I guess like his name and some stuff about it.
uh,
Work here, aren't you?
let me check this
Rob.
again. I do have notes.
This feels like a sketchy
Yes,
situation when like Kai had to bullshit up a name for the security guard all of that.
Please
my
let it be
goodness.
Steve. Please let it be Steve.
It is not Steve. No.
Aww.
What actually? Let me show you a reference of what this guy also looks like while I'm at it.
Oh,
Because that
wow.
would be handy, wouldn't it not?
Wait a
Yeah.
second. Hold on.
You're
He looks like a
plans,
shy
man.
little lizard character. He is in the same blue getup that you guys have been wearing.
Okay, now I'm suspicious.
Important
Yeah.
enough to have a picture.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
From what you can
Oh, he's
tell,
cute. Oh, he's cute.
basing on what you can tell, you believe his name is Raymond. And he nervously kind of peeks over the camera at you guys and then kind of pipes up, "Hey, where are you guys going?"
Oh, hey, Raymond. Yeah, we're just heading out to the terrace. Remember, we were supposed to do a quick look around out there.
Did you want to roll a persuasion with that?
Deception, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Deception or
deception.
persuasion? Yes.
He's cute, though. Did you draw him?
Oh, wait, actually, I have better in
I
persuasion,
drew
so
him,
I'll
yes.
do persuasion.
Yeah.
Nice. Your rolls are good. Let's hope they stay good.
Okay. He kind of thinks for a moment because he's trying to remember what was on his own schedule. He knows he kind of has the schedule folded up in his pocket, but he can't be bothered to pull it out. And then he kind of gives a mutual nod back at you. Yeah, okay, just don't be too long because we do need to set this up for tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, that's true. And Saul just kind of like smiles at Raymond and goes, thank you for starting it out too.
Okay. Well, I still gotta work on this camera for a bit, so I'll be a bit, but don't mind me.
Good luck, man. You're doing great.
Yeah.
And Meta, he snaps Raymond the finger guns and then leads the others outside. Like, quickly, before he thinks to look at the schedule in his pocket. Let's go.
Hey, quick question, Meta.
Yeah.
What do you think would happen if you asked someone their name, got their real name, and then they got suspicious because they were using a fake name while they were here?
Oh, wow.
I assume that the narrators would tell me both real and fake. So I would
But it's
use
just,
whichever one they were using actively.
I don't know. It just seems to be like could be a little prank of the narrators or whatever.
Eh,
Too
As
late
long
to
as I
worry
roll-
about it
Let the
now.
narrators lie to you.
as long as
Yes.
I roll high enough, they can't lie.
Too late
From
to
what-
worry about it now. We need to get the birds in.
Yeah,
Yep.
from my experience,
Let the birds
everyone can
in.
lie.
Would eldritch abominations lie to you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe
Anyway.
you're just not charming enough. And
Oh, definitely not.
Alright.
Aw. Alright, so are we at the terrace?
Yeah, you guys make your way up the stairs, and you do see like it's really big glass windows that kind of separate the terrace from like going inside and all that. You
Mhm.
guys do head outside. You do notice there is one security camera, but it's on the far right, and it keeps moving back and forth. But as far as you can tell, it doesn't reach the corner that is on the left-hand side, and there's just enough room to get a couple people up.
Right. So that's
Uh,
our target.
Alright.
Cloaker is going to stay inside and just kind of off to the side, like out of the sunlight.
Yeah.
Should Koda go ahead and roll? Because I'm presuming he's the one holding the rope here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
well-
roll for strength, definitely.
Sal's going to join Cloaker and just keeping an eye out because his strike not good.
Alright, I
Yeah.
take out my handy dandy rope.
Alright.
I'm going
I
to
believe
also.
Koda
Dahlia
has rope in
automatically
hand.
takes out a rope as well and begins to kind of lean it down onto the edge of the terrace.
Oh, we only really need one rope, but okay.
Actually,
Meta-
yeah, that's true. Because you only need a pick. That's right. The other two are waiting down there. Anyway,
Yeah.
and going, yeah, but we'll be down here.
Alright, can I look around and see if there's anything to tie the rope to, perhaps? Can I
Hmm?
percept for that, or is there nothing available?
Sorry,
Oh.
my brain blanked. Could you say that again?
Can I look around, like roll perception or something to see if there's anything I can tie the rope on, so it's sturdier? Or do I just have to freehand it there? Just pull them up.
It's like the railing. It's like a
Nope, I
very
need to reload the
strong,
page.
old-looking railing, so it seems easy enough to put a rope on and be good with it.
You might not want to tie
Let's
it
try
to the railing though, but
No, I missed.
we want to. What was that?
I missed what was said entirely. Reload.
Oh, they were saying that you could tie it to the railing, but might not be the best idea because if we
Can
got to go
I-
in a hurry,
Can I
you
make
don't
a
want to have to
suggestion
do
as
it
meta?
now.
What suggestion?
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Mhm.
So Meta's gonna look at what Koda's like looking around for something to tie it to and looks at the railing and says, "Here, try this," and loops it around the railing without tying it, which will give it a more grounded and easy to pull on thingamawhatsit, but it won't keep it stuck there.
You mean a give? Like it will give every give?
Oh, it's kind of like a looped kind of thing.
Excellent. And now I'd like to
not-
propose I get advantage on that now. Considering the sturdiness of it all.
Yeah. I mean, that's up to Ike.
Yeah, Ike, I'm asking.
Yes. Yes, you can put an
Oh no, I have
advantage
to
on
reload
it.
again.
Yes, you may.
All right.
Okay. Did
You
I
good,
say?
Rose? You good?
Yeah.
You can have advantage,
Hello.
Rose.
Oh, I have it. Okay,
Hello.
good. Okay. So I do as direct, or have Koda do as directed, in the corner hidden away, and lower the rope down. I would hope I don't need to roll for that.
I think it should just be automatic. It should be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're just dropping something down the side.
exactly.
It's pretty simple enough. I'm just
Exactly,
thinking,
right? I
yeah.
should hope.
It's not like you're rolling to walk and then you fall flat on your face.
Exactly. Well, and that one street we did. All right, so he
In this
waits for like
case,
a tug or
that's not the
something.
thing.
He waits for a tug or something.
Pick gives a tug and begins to hoist up.
All right. He looks over the edge to make sure he's the bird's all steady, and now I shall roll. Where is my strength? Just would it be a flat strength in this case, or
Yeah, I would go with flat strength.
athletics? It's the
I
same
would just
thing.
go with strength. Strength, same thing.
And then advantage, so I'll roll twice. Good thing I have advantage.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I didn't, I swear.
Hell.
Oh my
voice
gosh.
so pathetic right now.
Should I?
You kind of try to pull Pick up, but because Pick is very much bigger than you, like in other cases, it would be easy to pick him up, but for some reason, because you're trying to pull him up through a rope, it's
Can I
giving
run
you
over and
a tough
help?
time. Yes, you can help.
Okay. Do
Koda
I
looks
also get
sad.
advantage
Like
because
he
of the
is
bully,
one job.
or?
Yeah, you can get advantage.
One job, and he's failed it. Oh no!
Don't forget advantage. That's
Okay.
more
I
like
mean,
it.
Pig is also just climbing, aren't they?
Yeah, they're slowly climbing, but you can definitely fasten the process. And with
Koda's
that,
Yeah.
you do. You take a bit of a team effort, and finally, on the final tug, you manage to get Pick all the way up. Why, thank you.
Koda's
Thank you for
ears are
that.
drooping.
Meta very
Is there
gently
something
pats
wrong?
Koda, on the head and says, "It's all right. You did great. It's just the angle.
But based on
It's
my
harder to.
calculations,
It's harder
it is
to.
quite difficult to add strength when it comes to pulling something up in this kind of way. It's
Yeah,
not
it's hard.
ideal.
It's hard to pick something up with a rope, versus picking something up with your normal strength. You know, smaller thing you got to hold on to. Slippery hands. Did great.
Oh,
though.
baby.
So he puts
Yeah, with
away his
that,
rope into his hammer space.
All right. And with that, you guys managed to get through another step.
Oh
And then
boy.
Delia also pipes up. Well, we got that managed, but now we need to split up, which is going to take a bit, I believe.
Hmm.
So if
No.
I am
Uh,
if I am remembering my these notes correctly, we should first have Koda and Pick go together to try to find security in the backstage. I will be with Cloaker. We're going to be looking at the staff and inspecting that first and foremost, and hopefully getting a scan.
We might need to
And
get.
it seems
we
like
might-
Mersel and Meta, you two are going to be scouting out the location for more information.
Mhm. It looks like we might
Koda
need to
holds up a
get
hand.
Raymond out of the picture. So.
Yes, we
Koda
should
holds
be
up a
able
hand
to find a
quickly.
way. If we need to, we can always shoo him out of the room and say that we need help with something, and then I don't know, we'll find something.
I could drop something heavy on him.
No.
I wouldn't advise hurting them. Maybe there was a closet on site, right?
We
Not
could
just the
always
room
just-
that we have.
We could always
been
just
in.
lie. We could always tell them that we can take over the camera and they can do something else. They seem to have
Maybe-
trouble with setting up the camera
Mhm.
anyway. And that would
I feel like
actually-
he's probably almost done by then. Maybe if he's still in the room, maybe we
Alright.
can
If he's still
say
in the
his
room, we
car
can.
alarm is going off, and he can go look at it.
I've got something.
Car alarm.
That'll work. We can.
I mean,
If
he had to get to work somehow.
listen, we don't know whether or not we have a car, but he has a car. But we do know that this is a building that lots of people frequent, and they probably need to make sure that all the staff know where the different fire escapes and exits are. Honestly,
Yeah.
we could use him to our advantage if Sel and I go and talk to him and say, "Hey, routine inspection, could you do us a favor and take us around, show us where all the exits are, just so we know that if in case of an emergency, you know where you're guiding people."
Oh, that's a good idea.
Like, so that does sound like something we could do. So
Koda's
perhaps
holding
when
up
we
his
go
hand still.
in, you can take him out, and then the rest of us can split off to do our deeds. Yes,
Koda?
Koda?
What's up, Koda?
He jerks a thumb at Pick and says, "Disguise."
Oh, right.
Yeah, one of you guys grabbed the uniform, right?
Personally, I don't do disguises, but if you really want to, I guess you could say complete the set. Then sure, you can be my hat.
Wait, what?
What?
You guys,
I
you
can
guys
be his
grabbed the
hat?
disguise, right?
Yeah,
I mean, Koda is
Koda's
only
in
wearing
his
a hat, remember?
Yeah, I
and we
know.
grabbed
Do we
the
have?
jacket. So
And you have
can
the
I
jacket.
say Meta tosses the jacket to Pick?
Yeah.
Wait,
Pick can hold my
what do you
jacket.
mean when you said you could be my hat? Like,
Yeah, I was trying to. What?
did we
I'm gonna
understand?
retcon. I'm gonna retcon just a tiny bit. I believe, like Cloaker, you don't necessarily always need the uniform. I know you were kind of hesitant to the uniform, but Pick seems to be okay with it. But he
Yeah.
seems to be also
No,
kind
no,
of
I was just making
because
sure.
he doesn't do uniform.
I was just making sure someone actually grabbed it out of the changing room.
Mm.
I'm
Yeah.
so confused right now. But
Just go with
Basically,
it.
you did
yeah,
to
I'm
kind
going
of
with
help
it.
try to clear things for you. What happened was when you guys were in the dressing room, there was one uniform on the hanger,
No, I
which
know
ended
that.
up
I'm just
being the hat
confused. Like,
for Koda,
I
and
I
now
I
there's
know
just the
that.
jacket.
I
Mhm.
I know that. I was just confused because like you were just like I think I may have misheard you or something.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, I
In
think
this
I did too.
in this case, I
Because you had Pick say, "You can be my hat."
yeah,
Yeah,
because
and I
there
was
is only
like,
one uniform. What you do is Pick has the jacket on,
Oh,
but
you're
then
saying
has Koda
okay.
sitting
Since
on top of him.
I'm wearing the hat. Okay, okay. Since I'm
It's
wearing the
oh,
hat,
yeah,
I'm his hat.
yeah.
oh,
Okay,
okay, that makes sense. I was like, what?
I'm his hat. Okay.
You
Well,
are
what do
the
you say?
hat. It is you.
Coda's going through
Yes,
so many
Yeah.
emotions right now
yeah,
trying to figure this out.
you've been promoted to
Sorry,
hat.
what was that? Everyone was talking. I'm sorry.
We
You
should
go ahead.
probably keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Well, let's split up, gang. And this is where things get a little tricky for me because I've never split the party in a game before. Well, actually,
It'll
I
be
have
fine.
once,
Uh-oh.
but
So who wants to go first?
Hmm.
I
what,
mean,
11
Snow
p.m.?
and
So we
Meta
still got plenty of
probably
time.
should because they need to get rid of Raymond first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We'll go over
So-
that, and then we'll go over onto Koda and Pick since they are first team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Meta comes in from the terrace, like gestures to
That
Mersel with a sort of nod.
Mhm.
And
As you guys enter the ballroom, you can see that Raymond is still working on the camera, but he seems like he's kind of like inspecting it, and he seems like he's about done.
yo, Rayman!
Yeah. Hi. What?
Meta waves and is like, hey, you almost done there?
Yeah, I actually finished right now.
Oh, excellent. Dude, I was wondering if you could do us a favor. Um, God, I feel like such an idiot. I misplaced my map of the fire exits, and I know we're supposed to keep up with like regulation and know where we're guiding the guests for fire escapes and whatnot. Do you think you could show me around, help me figure them out again? I'm so sorry. I'm such a ditz sometimes.
No, yeah, we could do that. I think No, I didn't keep it. Darn, I left mine at home. But we can definitely look around. I do have a key card to kind of check the stairwell as well, because usually they don't like us going to the rooftop. So yeah, we can take a look around as the old exits and inspect those.
Rad. Thanks, man. You're the best.
But thank. And he kind of begins to walk with you too as you guys go down the hallway. And this is where now we split up the party.
Yeah.
So now we are focusing more so on Koda and Pick.
All right.
And it seems like your guys' job right now is to find the security room, perhaps find a way to get in and out quickly through it as well, if you can help it. You might be able to find something in this room if you try hard enough. If not,
Okay. Should we roll for to be stealth to be inconspicuous again?
oh, Koda, what do you want to do?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh no.
Time
All right.
to refresh.
It is Pick and Koda's time to shine.
Does this consistently happen? All right. So again, should we roll stealth to be inconspicuous again?
At the moment, there isn't really anybody to be suspicious about, aside from perhaps like 1 or 2 security cameras in the room.
Okay. So I'm taking that as a no then. So I guess Koda's just gonna start, walking through the ballroom to go to the south hallway. I mean, we good doing
Okay.
that? Make
Yeah,
sure Pick's
you can do that. So
Yeah,
Pick also
just-
follows along. He kind of make it to the front door first, and before you really step out of the room, Pick actually holds the flipper out in front of you to be like, hold on, and watches an employee walk past you guys silently. And you can tell he's holding his breath while he sees this. And then after a moment or two, he relaxes again and then goes, maybe just to speed up things, you should hop on my back real quick.
Koda gives him a weird look, but it does as he's told. Jumps on his back.
Okay, you are now on top of Pick, and Pick actually slides down the
I do it.
hallway.
Amazing.
And as you are sliding down the hallway, you actually see, like, you get the time to look above you, and you can see there's air vents.
Huh.
And then
Okay.
as you make your way down the hallway, thankfully there's
this-
nobody in the way of the security room. And
wait,
well,
the
the
air
door's
vents-
right there in front of you.
The air vents are along the south hallway?
Yes. You'll be able to see the full layout in a bit, if I'm
Okay.
being honest.
Okay. All right. So we're at the door. Is the door locked?
Pick takes a look at it and he kind of jiggles at the doorknob, and it is indeed locked.
All right. So does Pick know how to lock pick? Because if he doesn't, Koda's gonna ask for those that thieves' tools.
I do know how to lockpick, but if you want to give it a go, by all means.
Koda's
I do
grinning.
have it on hand if you want to use it.
Koda jerks his head up and down. He wants to try.
All right then. And then he takes a look at his hammer space, rummages around it a couple of times, and then hands it over.
All right. So we doing dex and then plus proficiency bonus?
Yeah, we'll do that then, because it's like sleight of hand.
All right, that's a +4 then. Yeah, it's a +4 then. Aha!
Woo! Excellent. And right with that, the door kind of just slides open. Nobody's inside, which seems good.
I'd like to roll a quick perception though to make sure everything's good.
So
Or
you guys
investigation.
enter the security room. It's probably about as much as you'd expect out of a security room. There is multiple cameras,
I
like
think
being shown on the screens in front. There's like a keyboard and everything as well. There's a computer.
Okay.
I think you didn't hear Mitzvah. She said she wanted to roll perception.
Or investigation.
Oh yes, that's right. Sorry.
Okay. Which one would you prefer?
I would say investigation.
I wish you didn't say that one. All right, it's -2.
It's fine.
Well, that's not great.
Okay. It's not the greatest, but
Oh, I'm
you do take
reloading.
a look around. It's probably about as much as you'd expect out of a security room. There isn't too much knowledgeable, at least not as far as you can tell. Maybe you just need another, like a different point of view of the
You
room.
might want to try that again. I had to reload.
Pretty much, you don't really see much in the room, and it's about as much as you'd expect out of a security room. It has a computer, it has a bunch of screens, like a keyboard and everything, a little chair for it. There's a tiny trash can towards the back. There is also a bulletin board that has the map.
Okay. Can I investigate for something in particular? You mentioned those vents before. Can I look to see if there's any vent openings?
Yeah, you can roll for it. Yeah.
All right, just another investigation. Why is this investigation?
I think because you saw them like up in the hallway on like the ceiling, I'm gonna give you advantage on this one.
Okay, thank you. Ah!
Well, you look around, you don't really see much. You can't really figure out what some of the things on like the bulletin boards
I have an
mean
idea.
because
Can I
you're
have
way
my
down on the
rat?
floor.
Can I have my rat roll
Oh,
for me?
sure.
All right, I don't have stats for the rat, so
You have a what?
here. There should be. I have a rat.
If you don't have stats, I'm just gonna say straight D20.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say I can bring up the actual rat monster, the tiny beast.
Hmm. If you want, if you want. If not, I would just go
I
with
can just.
D20 just to keep it simple.
I'll do d20. Either way works. All right.
Yeah.
Poor
You put your Koda, you let your rat onto the floor, and it looks around. It
Jackie.
doesn't really see anything, and it kind of crawls back up to you like, nah, I got nothing.
All right. Jackie
Pick
and Koda
begins to
apparently are
look
blind.
around, and it kind of looks around for a bit, and he seems to ponder quite a bit, and then he spots something up on top of like a little cabinet closet that there is in the room as well. There's a box on top of it. Huh. Wonder what's up in
Does he
there.
point this out to Koda?
Yes, he pointed out.
All right. Koda's gonna fly up to the top of the cabinet to look at the box.
Okay. You did take a look at the box. It seems like a basic cardboard box. There's some old supplies inside it. There's mainly just like old cords and keyboards that aren't really used anymore. But you see something a little bit behind it. You take a little shove at the box and, huh, what do you know? It's one of the air vents. It's one of their entrances.
Koda face palms. So he flies back down to pick up Jackie and then flies right back up to the vent and says, "Gonna put Jackie in vent." And he promptly places the rat inside the vent entrance. Like, I assume the rat can squeeze through the holes, or they're too small.
Oh yeah, you can definitely get into it easy enough. Heck, if anything, you see that one of the bolts is missing on it too.
All right, so he has Jackie go inside and investigate, but I suppose we can come back to that in a bit.
Yeah, you can do that in a bit. Meanwhile, Pick is at the
Yeah.
computer. He's been tapping away quite intensely, and after a couple of moments, he goes, "I got it. Okay, so what I did, I turned off all of the security cameras. I deleted the footage for the past hour. So none of this is gonna show up. And if we are out in about 3 hours, given time, we should be able to actually do all this. And I think because it's safe enough with that in mind, I can see you guys from over these cameras as long as nobody enters the room, which shouldn't be too hard if I'm locking it. And maybe bombard it. I don't know. Use that closet or something. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go back to Cloaker and all them because I feel like they need extra hands. Does that sound good?
Koda cock. Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
No, you can.
Okay. Koda cocks his head. You sure?
Yes, I think I can handle myself. This isn't the first time I've been through trying to find systems and everything. I should be.
Well, before he goes, Koda does want to investigate the room for himself. Like specifically, I know he tried to investigate already, but there was a map you mentioned.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
before I do
you can
that, I
roll
am
to
going
take
to
a look.
cast a spell. I'm
Okay.
going to cast a spell. This is going to take about 10 minutes because it's a ritual. That's 10 minutes, right, for a ritual?
I believe so. I don't have that
So
information up with me right now, so I'm
is
taking
yeah,
a
is that
shot in the
okay?
dark
Just 10
here.
minutes, fine?
Then again, this is like Toon Heist D&D. We do kind of have like leeway on rituals and times.
All right, it's up to you, Mike. How long? Because
You'll be
it says
alright.
one
You'll be fine.
action.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll just do it. So he is actually a totem. Sorry, he's a Path of the Totem barbarian.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's going to cast Beast Sense as he places a hand on Jackie. You touch a willing beast. For the duration of the spell, you can use your action to see through the beast's eyes and hear what it hears, and continue to do so until your action to return to your normal senses. For up to an
Okay.
hour, as long as he holds concentration, he can see through Jackie's eyes.
Ah, I see where you're going with this. All right.
Uh-huh.
Go
Yeah,
right ahead.
so he
You
does
are
that.
welcome to do it.
He does that and has Jackie scuttle through the vents. And having done that, he goes to the map to take a look.
Okay. I believe as that happens, you do in fact get to see the map. Finally.
Excellent.
I do also air. No, did my audio hack up again?
I can hear you.
Certainly hope not. Ah, okay.
All right, what'd I miss?
Like Discord, please. Hopefully not much. Pretty much you do
Okay.
find the map, and coincidentally at the same time, you do see Jackie go through all these vents and finding different entrances. Like there's one that takes you from the one that he entered, and it takes you out to the ballroom. There was another one where it kind of crosses across the hallway of that you just went down. It goes all the way over, and then it goes down to sort of like a garbage chute area that goes outside. And then there's another two vents that take you to each of the bathrooms. There's another one that takes you to the closet. And then on both sides of the exhibition area, there's two vents on either side of that. And then it also leads you to the kitchen and then back to pretty much where you guys entered the place. And it looks a little like this.
Long story short, Jackie can see everything.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Jackie knows all,
See everything.
and by extension, Koda does too. Excellent. I'm so glad I remember that spell.
Oh yes, and I forgot to say, it also takes you across the front lobby and then out towards the garage as well.
Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna keep that in mind for, anytime you feel necessary, or if I point out that Jackie's in the vents kind of thing.
Mhm.
All right.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Meanwhile, Pick is still typing away at the computer and goes, okay, so are you gonna go back to the others?
So was there anything about a map, or is that just the vents you were describing?
That is the map.
That is
That
the
is
map.
the map.
Excellent. Okay. So Koda's gonna actually turn to Pick and say, "Have Jackie and Vents can see through his eyes." It's probably the longest sentence he said all day.
Cool. Sounds good. I don't fully know what that means, but I'm not gonna question it. If you have any concerns, you got a stone as far as speech. Each of you have a stone as far as speech, which should be easy enough to do.
Okay. He gives a thumbs up. And considering he's been given permission, he's just gonna leave and head back to the ballroom.
All right. And with that, we move on to Delia and Cloaker. So now we're beginning to slowly make our way back to having the full party. Now it's Delia, Cloaker, and Koda. Meanwhile, we're kind of gonna go back in time just a tiny bit before Koda returns to them. Um, while that was going on, Dahlia and Cloaker, you two are kind of just looking around the ballroom at the moment. And of course, in the middle, there is the staff right there. It's in a glass box. And yeah.
I guess Cloaker, while he had the chance, would give it a look over, see if there were any kind of alarms stuck on it or any kind of like trap devices.
Yeah, you can take a look at it.
Investigation.
Yeah, we'll do investigation. Yes. So you do take a look at the box and everything, and it looks like there is a lock on it. And after a couple minutes of kind of inspecting it, taking a look at it, and before you guys can really talk to each other about it, you actually hear something coming from, well, presumably a pocket or hammer space. Again, I did say each one of you do have a stone of far speech to keep in contact with each other. And you can hear a muffled voice coming from it.
You mind answering that? I'm gonna keep looking at this.
I suppose I could do that, but it's in your hammer space. But
Oh,
it seems like it's directed at you, I think.
let's
Oh,
see.
oh, no, I also have it too. Okay, hello? And then, of course, you hear Pick. Okay, so, like, I sent Koda back to you guys because I think I can handle myself on my own. But, I think I've learned something about the staff, sort of, at least in its current position, basing on the security and information on their computer. So like there's an alarm on it, and you should not lift the glass box. Do not lift the glass box. There should be a key of some sorts. I don't know what key, but there should be a key that would unlock it so you can safely take it, which means we're going to need not only a scan of the staff, which you can do perfectly fine with the glass in place, that's fine. But we also need to find the key if we're going to make a switch on the night of.
I might have an idea for
Does
that.
sound good?
Let's see.
And I want to keep in mind this is a very specific key that they have too. I don't know if it's a key card or an actual key, but it's definitely synced up towards their system.
Is it using the same kind of whatever kind of magic it is that they got with the eyes and the alarm?
Yes, it's very much part of their system altogether.
But the clay, I could have made one. Damn it. Well, I guess we'll have to figure out who has the key then.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing we need to think about. Thank you, Pick. I believe we should probably tell the other two as well.
And
Aren't they with
Koda.
that Randy guy?
Yeah, I think so. And just as you guys are talking about it, Koda enters back in from the room that the same door that you exited through for the ballroom.
Cloaker
And, well,
instinctively, like
the
when he
ballroom's
hears a
empty.
door, hides.
No. Koda just
Koda.
flies over.
So do you know about the key, Koda?
Koda
Or
shakes his head. No.
No. Okay, so Pick basically told us he sent us you to us. What is talking? My goodness. So
What is
that's
talking?
a thing.
That voice.
And then there is a key supposedly for the
No, that was them cutting out.
swiftly get it out on the night
Oh,
of,
it's them or
and
us?
we need to scan. Oh yes, we should probably scan it, shouldn't we?
Ike?
I cut
Is
out
Ike,
for a second there.
No,
Yeah.
I got out.
is Ike still cutting out for you guys, or?
Am I cutting or am I
No.
good?
You're
Okay.
good now. It was just for like 5 seconds.
Okay, I can hear you.
Yes, I was for me that can't hear Ike.
Pretty much, long story short, you need a key for the staff. Koda entered in. Now it's the three of you. You guys have the chance to explore and look around. And also make sure to scan the staff and make sure no employee tries to enter that room.
All right.
Okay,
Can you hand me the brick, Delia?
the brick.
Yes.
The scanner.
Yes. Here we go. The scanner, yes.
Scanner break.
And she hands it over.
Scanner.
It's a little hefty, but it's pretty doable.
All right. While they're doing that, can Koda futilely roll perception and also make his way to the main doors to keep a lookout?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna just roll a futile perception.
You say that. What if you get something good?
Yeah, right. I'm hoping his perception's actually not as bad as his investigation.
Oh no! Don't say that. Now you're gonna jinx it.
Wrong chat, but it's a 16.
Oh, that's not bad.
16. Ooh, not bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let me take a look at my notes here just to make sure I know what I'm going on about.
Yeah, wrong.
Because I just want to make sure I know what I got. Here we go. Well, so far as you can tell, there's a lot of employees that are slowly beginning to trickle into the building, but it doesn't seem like any of them would know about the key necessarily, as far as you can tell,
Alright.
basing on
I
the
mean, I'm just
expressions
looking
on
at
their faces and
yeah,
yeah.
I'm just looking at them.
You just get that feeling. It's just like they just work here.
Close the
I'm
door.
channeling my inner meta. Yeah, Koda's gonna actually, he's gonna go back to the two of them and say, "Close. I'll close doors. Stand outside. Keep watch."
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Just in case anybody tries to get in here while they're scanning.
Yeah, and if you do say or you do see someone, Koda has a tail, right?
Yes.
Make a fuss.
Oh.
Pretend like they stepped on your tail.
Koda
That way we
grins.
know to
He can
hide.
do that.
Oh gosh.
He can
Let's
do
hope
that.
nobody comes along.
All right.
All right. So
So are we
yeah,
going to
Koda's just gonna go
scan?
outside and close the
Yeah.
door and.
Okay.
Cloaker
And
will
then it should
start.
take a couple minutes.
Yeah, we'll start scanning the object. In the meantime, we'll with his free hand, he'll pull out the speaking stone. Meta,
Okay.
Marcel, do you hear us?
And cut to them. Of course, can they hear? Can they hear
Yes.
Cloaker?
Everybody has this stone of our speech. It should be very easy to contact each other.
More accurately, can Raymond hear Cloaker?
Please tell me it's like a ping, like on a phone, because I do have a gag in mind.
I think it's kind of like it first sounds kind of like it's what's it called? Gosh dang it.
A dial tone?
Not a dial tone. Speakerphone. It's
Just
almost like a speakerphone, but it's not enough that he can actually hear what you're saying on the other end.
Yeah,
it
Meta's
would be
going to
very.
hear it from. Meta's going to hear it
So
coming
he knows
from
that
their
the
pocket.
phone is being a thing, but he doesn't
hears
have
that
he has no clue.
He hears that coming from his pocket, and he's like, "Ah, damn! You two go ahead. I gotta take this."
Oh, sure. Raymond.
I you know, I actually there's like we've shown exit
Mm-hmm.
at time.
And
It does.
I
cut
cut out
it.
again.
Is it cutting off for everyone else?
I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm
it
here.
was.
I'm
but
here.
they're back.
Okay,
back
now, time for.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
All right. So, what was
Alright.
Raymond
So
saying?
pretty much like during that time, it seems like you guys have already kind of like gone through at least a couple exits.
Mhm.
As far as you can see, let me pull up my map again. there is a stairwell on the very left top side. The stairwell actually takes you up towards the rooftop. He did mention that in the first place as well. He kind of just like showing you the door to it, not necessarily anything else. And then there is also the door that you guys just came in. There is, and then he also took you across the antique exhibition hallway area, and there is yet another exit through the storage room and garage, which seems pretty ideal. And of course, the front doors. That's about it.
All right. So and what was Raymond saying? He said something about he already showed them all the exits, I think.
Yeah, that was pretty much what happened in the time being while the others were going about their stuff.
Is
And he
Raymond
goes, well,
going to, like,
I do need to go. I really do need to go back to work. Thankfully, I don't have to worry about that camera anymore. But I do need to. I do have to go talk to someone. So I'm gonna have to go up to the rooftop. Is your stuff settled?
And Saul tries and Saul like just cocks their head and goes, "Oh, who do you have to talk to?"
Oh, it's nothing.
And Saul just kind of teasingly like elbows Raymond a little, like, "Come on, you can't say that and leave us hanging."
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it
I
a
was gonna talk to.
date?
Ooh, forbidden date on the rooftop, Raymond.
I wish it was a date, but I was gonna talk to a friend about trying to break the ice with the chef of the place
Oh, that's so sweet.
because I think he's out of my league.
Oh,
Well,
come on.
Well, and here, like, Saul actually, like, he smiles at, like, Raymond kind of genuinely and goes, "Well, I actually know a professional chef. I could give you some conversation starters if you like." Yeah, and he starts.
You could probably take me. You could go with me to help. How do I word
Oh,
this?
well, sure. Is the chef in the building right now?
I mean, I'd presume so. I think he's working.
Well, I probably
we-
do have to go back to my own work eventually, but sure, take me there right now. I could
Okay.
be your wingman.
Okay. Yeah, just back down this way towards the kitchen.
What
And
about your
I'll-
friend?
And he does that.
Aren't they gonna wonder where you went?
Well, I do have a bit of extra time. I finished that camera a little too quickly.
Ah,
I
valid.
still got a
Take your
couple
time, man.
minutes.
You
Us,
got
like, us
this.
I feel like as Mersel like goes follow Raymond to wherever the chef is, like he's making like hands motions behind his back, like keep going. He's gonna play wingman, I guess.
And that you do. And as you make your way to the kitchen, you actually see the chef walk right out, and this is how he looks. He looks like a chicken. Well, actually, no, a rooster. He's a rooster, but his outfit is white instead of blue.
Oh, snazzy.
Dahlia, I
Oh
think
my
that Meta
goodness.
is dead.
Meta pulls the stone out of their pocket. Not dead. Busy. Free now. What's up?
We need someone who has a key to the box.
Key to the box. Oh, hey. Ray mentioned a key. He mentioned it was one of the that he needed it for the door. I wonder if I could like take a look at the door and see if I could figure out something about the key, what it might look like that way. I'll get back to you on that.
All right. Suppose me and Delia are gonna keep working on the scan here.
Yeah.
That's
Let us
right.
know.
You can hear her over the shoulder.
Let us know when you've got that finished, and stay safe.
And you
Always.
All right. Cheers. Good luck.
too. In the
And
meanwhile, I think we can go back to Mersel for just a couple moments, and then we'll return to Meta.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the
Investigation.
restroom.
Oh hi, it's nice to meet you.
Uh,
Raymond here wants to talk to you, sir.
Well, I'm. Oh, that's quite nice, but I don't have time for that. I have so much I need to get done, and a good chunk of my coworkers aren't even here yet.
Well, I fancy myself a bit of a chef. Maybe I could help a little.
I mean, that's not your position, basing on your uniform. I'm pretty sure you're
Well,
with like the tech guys back over at the ballroom. Don't you guys have stuff to do?
can I roll something to like move like the conversation away from that?
Hey,
Ike? Okay, is Ike cutting out for everyone or is it just me?
sorry
getting
if
a
my internet
response.
hiccuped. Ah!
Question: am I the one that hears like glitchy noises from Vamp? Like I can understand them, but it sounds really weird.
I'm not
Not
getting
that I
any
can tell, no.
interference.
Alright,
Oh,
so
for goodness sake!
sorry, Rose.
How did it clear again?
happens.
That was weird.
Alright,
Oh.
I guess this card was like, oh shit, they're on to
But
us.
But
But yeah.
yes, you can roll. You can.
What would I even roll for this?
I would say charisma, because you are trying to
Insight?
push the conversation in
charisma.
a different way.
Charisma's better. I'm using a luck
well,
point. I'm using this
well,
luck.
I can't only be just me in this case having bad rolls.
Oh my god.
Oh,
So
geez.
what do you try saying to him?
I think he just goes, Raymond actually finished it up quicker than we expected.
Oh, well, you guys are pretty fast at tech. I wouldn't know anything about tech. But any which way, I have a lack of a team, and we have so much work to do. We have to set up stuff into the ballroom, and we also have to cook a lot. And
I will say Mersel is not showing it
as
on
much
his
as I
face.
love to cook so much, there's definitely not enough for everybody to. Well,
I
I
will
can't do
say
it by
that
myself. Is
Mersel,
what I'm trying to say.
I will
can't
say
do it
that
by myself.
Mersel is not letting this show on his face, but he like the chef like was like, oh, that's not your position. You can possibly cook for like you can possibly cook, and like he's not showing it on his face. To be clear, he like outwardly he's fine, inwardly he's like, bitch.
But you're trying to say that you can cook? Is that what you're trying to say, despite your position? I mean, you can probably cook outside, but we have a very specific way of cooking in this kitchen here. And if this is just gonna be like a couple of us, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Can I roll again for like Sal to convince him that yeah he can like cover for the bird a little while he and Raymond talk with advantage
Yeah.
considering he's actually a cook, like a professional.
Yeah, I would give you advantage for that.
22. I don't think I need it.
Do it anyways.
Like,
I want to see you get that 20.
all right,
You
fine.
did.
I probably
Okay.
won't. I'll probably get like a. Well, I rolled the exact same thing twice. Twice possible.
Well,
But
consistency.
yeah, he like Saul starts. He makes sure not to say anything too complicated because it's kind of sus if the tech guy knows like ridiculously complicated cooking terms. But he definitely lets off the air that he knows what he's doing.
Well, you seem pretty confident in what you're doing. Well, how about you help me out with this one dish over here for starters? That should be enough until maybe my coworkers finally show up. And your little friend here, Russell, was it?
Raymond.
Raymond. Right.
It's Randy.
Well, how about you start over here, and there's some supplies over here. Oh, actually, now that I remember, we should probably go get some supplies from the food truck because there is new ingredients that we need to use.
All right. Raymond, why don't you? Well, you did say that you were finished with your tasks as well. Why don't you tag along with us?
Sure.
You know Raymond
Sure.
here. And Saul's just basically going to like start like I don't know how to do it, but Sal has a 20 charisma. He probably does know how to do it. Like, basically start like inciting conversation between the two of them.
Yeah. Is there like a starting question that you were gonna give them as they are walking their way to the food truck area in the garage?
Probably, Raymond, are you interested in learning to cook at all?
Funny enough, yeah, yeah. I just haven't really had time to. Been
Well, it's
painfully busy,
been a busy couple of days.
especially with this big on that they've been asking overtime, and oh my goodness, it's quite a lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I've kind of been in the same boat. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, I could always teach you how to cook. Uh,
Sal subtly like elbows Raymond. Do not fuck up this chance he just gave you.
he begins to kind of rapidly shake his head. Yes, like sure, sure. Um, when do we do that?
Well, it probably
Doesn't
has to be after the event is over, considering
you
how
know what?
busy you are.
You know what? I'm a rooster that doesn't take chances typically, but I feel confident. You know what? If you know how to cook and you don't know how to cook, I'm gonna teach you how to cook today. It's gonna be intense, but I believe.
I'm sure Raymond can do it. After all, that's kind. After all you need to have to be a good cook is to have heart. And he winks at Raymond.
Heart, heart, right, right.
And so this is when we figure out
Yeah,
if he's a
see, this guy
chameleon
does
or
get it.
not.
No, he's just a
Amazing.
regular lizard. He's just a regular
I'm just
lizard, but
imagining,
you probably couldn't mistaken him to be a chameleon basing on how red his face is becoming.
Oh, bless.
I'm just
Also, I am
imagining
back.
like the rest of the team are hearing this from like the Stone of Far speech. So like playing matchmaker.
Meta
Trust
is
me,
hearing and is loving every second of it.
Oh my gosh. I think with
Coda's
that,
rolling his eyes.
Cloaker is just an old curmudgeon. He's just kind of gently like banging his head against the. This is too
Coda
much
definitely
schmaltz
rolls
for
his
him.
eyes.
are you saying that Cloaker is listening in through the Stone as far speech?
I mean, he has
So's
it out
Coda,
because it's
just
no
'cause.
use in the.
So he's doing this while he's scanning and finally jumping back to you guys for a quick second, and then before getting back to Mersel, you finally hear a little ding come from the machine, and it's done scanning. Cool. So we need to look for that key now. We should probably start investigating the hallways, perhaps. Take note if there's any other things we can keep in mind for the heist, I suppose.
Delia, we got your scan, but we need to know where our stuff is too.
Yes, that is exactly what I mean. We well, if the staff is here, I do remember they were saying there was an exhibition hall, and we are not in it right now. Maybe we should go that
Yeah.
way.
It's
Uh,
out. Can I chime in? Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
You,
Meta's going to chime in through the Stone of Far speech while he's like taking a look at the lock to see what kind of card or what kind of key we're talking about here, and says exhibition hall should be just out the main door from the main ballroom, and then there should be another big set of double doors, and that leads into the exhibition hall.
Coda has his Stone of Fire speech and he says, "I'm looking at it."
Excellent. We will join you shortly then, Koda.
It's real
It's
creepy how
directly
Better
across
knows
from
these
Coda.
things.
I feel like he's like holding it with both hands.
What, Coda?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, he's doing that.
Well, we will see you there then in just a second.
Quick question: can the box produce the object now, or does it have to be connected to another device?
No. What happens, as Pick was explaining at the beginning, It's too like it has such a power, but because of that, it only takes the scan and then it sends the scan back to his actual computer back in the hideout.
Okay, so someone in the hideout needs to.
So that means you guys won't be able to even access it until after the fact. And
Okay,
then by extension, you'll be able to get the key this way as well.
sounds
Actually,
good.
real quick, if
Mhm.
Saul's still talking to the rooster and Raymond, you might actually ask the small side, go, oh, God, this is such a large event. Do either of you know who's organizing? I never quite got to meet them myself.
Well, I believe I overheard. I heard rumors because I don't know why they're trying to keep it like such a big secret, but there's some lady who owns like a museum out towards like Dreamworkers Way, you know? That's how they got the staff and stuff like that. They had all this other stuff exhibited elsewhere, and now they're bringing it here to kind of be like, wow, look at this thing. Uh,
And
that's
Saul
about as much as I know. I don't know who is organizing it or who's in charge.
nods, and then he kind of like twirls a lock of hair like around his finger and looks at the rooster chap and goes, "Do you know any of the items being exhibited here?"
Um, not not personally, because that's not really my department, but I know about the staff, obviously, because that's like a big deal.
Yeah,
They say
that's
it's really special, as far as I can tell. I don't know why, but I guess they're gonna be explaining that, I suppose, at this event.
Aren't you curious though? And like, Saul's just like, aren't you curious?
Kinda. I'm gonna hear about it tomorrow anyway. I'm gonna be cooking like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah,
uh,
that's true, but you could hear about it now. I will, uh, unless you aren't okay with telling us, of course, Raymond.
eh, um, well, I have gone through the exhibition hall just a little bit because it's kind of like the passageway to go from each part of the building, so it's not really a big surprise to me. But it's kind of like I don't know what it is exactly, but it kind of seems like they're presenting like stuff about Toon Kinds as a whole, like kind of like their main culture and other stuff like that. Like I don't know why. There's just some really ordinary items, and some of them I don't understand.
Hmm. And Saul
So it's kind of
nods.
like it's kind of like a celebration of Toon Kinds, and then something about the staff I don't.
That's really interesting. And like Sal's like he's basically doing that thing where he's getting Raymond to keep talking, partly because A, they do need more information, and B, because the rooster seems interested in it too. And he's like motioning for Raymond to keep going. He's holding a captive audience right now.
That's that's about as much as I know. um, weren't you gonna teach me to cook or something?
Oh yeah, you probably should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our
You know what? You probably got stuff to do though. You said you were done your work already, so I can teach you right now, and you can help me. Uh, so how about you? What's your name?
Um right. Time to time to I have no idea what name Sal's gonna come up with. Like I'm terrible at names. But Sal just kind of like pat. Sal just kind of goes, uh, call me, call me Richard.
Ri- Richard. Richard. Raymond. Richard. Yeah, funny. Yeah, you should probably get back to work because I don't know if you got stuff done or not. So I know he's got his tech stuff done, I guess. I don't really know much about your guys' position at all. But how about you go and I'll help him cook.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I mean,
and
we're definitely at a lack of hands and feathers right now, but we can make it work. It'll be intense, but it'll be okay.
all right.
over the stone of Farspeak, Cloaker kind of messages Marcel. Main part of being a wingman is knowing when to let them fly on their own.
And Sal does not even
Bird
look at
puns.
the message. Sal doesn't even look at a message. He just gives like a snappy salute and winks at Raymond and goes, "Oh yeah, I'll leave you two alone now. Have fun, you both." And he goes. Bye, Raymond. You're on your own now.
And there's
Ugh.
like there's a whistle from Meta's end.
You kids are exhausting me.
Shut up, old man.
There's a very loud groan from Koda.
Agreed.
Would you have rather been the one doing this then? We could trade places.
Please, no. Anyway,
Shouldn't I be investigating the key?
Yes, so we're gonna go back in time just a little bit so we can go over that.
Yeah.
So, Meta, you were kind of just in the hallway right at the moment. You were kind of just left on your own.
Yep, I was
Where did you want to
abandoned
go?
in the pursuit of romance. Well,
For the sake of romance.
our good boy Rayman, bless his heart, mentioned that there was a door to the staircase that needed a
Mhm.
key, and I'm wondering if it's the same kind of key. So I'm going to go investigate that. I'm going to go look at that lock. And before I go anywhere where someone could see me, I'm going to dial up the people in the ballroom and ask, "Hey, so what kind of lock is it on the thing? Can you see the lock?"
Wait.
Basing on what we can see,
Oh,
it kind
never
of
mind.
just looks like it's for an actual key.
Mm-hmm. All right.
wait. Pick, can you hear us?
Yeah, hi.
Are there any spare keys in the security room?
There's one that's labeled washroom,
Idea.
but that's
Cute little
it.
man.
Jackie and Vince can go to storage room.
All right, rad.
Okay.
You send Jackie that way.
Jackie's already on
Alright.
his way. He's probably in the kitchen
Hang
right
on,
now,
Jackie,
actually.
for a good hot moment.
Jackie's probably heading to the kitchen. He probably heard some of that smooth moves going on there.
Alright, so you do head on over to the kitchen. You're kind of just standing like right above. You can sort of see through the air vents. The two are talking with Mersel for a bit. And then you begin wandering your way to the storage room and garage.
Koda definitely is rolling his eyes when he sees them.
Roommates.
Ugh,
So you make
disgusting.
it. Jackie makes it to the storage room, and you take a look around. It seems like a pretty much your standard garage. There's a couple shelves, but there's a couple boxes, but most of them seem to be labeled more for food, in particular.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Can he?
Sorry to interrupt, but when Raymond was talking about the exhibition halls and how like all the items were set up there, like did the rest of the crew hear that?
I'm gonna say no.
All
I
right,
don't think he would be talking loud enough to pick up onto your Stone of Far speech.
all right. So Sal's going to like echo what Raymond said over to the others.
All right.
Well, they're showing off my
Yeah, I
stuff. I want to
figured-
get it back even more.
Yeah. I figured that the group would be going there anyways, so Jackie shouldn't bother checking there. He should try checking other places just in case.
And I still need to
As
investigate the
Jackie's
lock.
doing. Or rather, Koda,
Yeah.
in this case.
What about Koda?
Whirl needs that
Hello?
lock.
Whirl
I
needs.
think Ike died.
Yep, I died.
Oh,
Am
they're
I
back.
Oh,
here?
okay,
Not
not
dead.
me.
I'm not dead. I live.
Mad Max. I live. I die. I live again.
That's basically.
God, somewhere where I can still
So
hear.
what was?
us.
So what happened?
I
So-
think Mela wants to investigate the lock.
No, Mira, or not Mira, Mitzvah
Yes, Mira.
No,
Rose.
your mitzvah. You wanted to investigate the storage room, and I wanted to investigate the lock because I've been trying to
Yeah,
do that.
exactly.
So how about let's tackle it one thing at a time then. So let's
Yeah.
go meta first, and then we'll get back to
Yeah.
Jackie in just a moment. So meta, you make your way down to the hallways. You make it down the north hallway, and you do see the door to the stairwell.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give it to you because it seems easy enough, and I don't want to waste too much time. You take a look at it, and it looks more like a card key rather than an actual key
All right, so it
for
isn't
the
the sort of
stairwell.
thing. It's not the
So
sort of thing that people would just have on them. Okay.
mm-hmm.
And
It seems like it'd
knowing
have to
that,
be specific roles, perhaps.
hmm and Meta is going to stop and think for a minute. And guess what Meta's going to do?
What is Meta
I
gonna
don't think
do?
Be meta.
I don't think anyone can guess what that is going to do.
I don't know,
Fair.
Whirl. What is Meta going to do?
I'll tell you what he's going to do. He's going to roll metatextual knowledge.
Very meta.
That's
Ooh,
21. And he's going to ask the
big.
narrators, what's my best course of action to find what I need?
Best course of action. I feel like the narrators are gonna say, "Go back with the rest of the party, and you will find your way shortly enough."
It leads me to believe it's probably in the exhibition room.
Loud and clear.
Or Jackie's on it.
Okay.
And Meta's going to subtly but quickly book it back to the exhibition hall.
Alright.
Do you tell us about that, like over the stone or whatever? Or you're waiting?
Well, I mean, it's not like it's, super pressing information, and it's not like the whole narrators things makes sense to anyone but me. So right now, I'm just kind of operating on, okay, I have been told that what I should do here, my hint coin has told me, okay, go to the place where you need to
Okay.
go.
Let me rephrase that. The narrator, Rose, is asking if you've told the group about it looking like a card key, because Jackie's trying to look in the storage room.
Oh. So Meta is going to mention casually over the stone of far speech that and he's going to make it try and make it I can English. He's going to try and make it look like he's just casually talking on the phone and say, yeah, you're not looking for a card, you're looking for a traditional key.
Sounds good. That sounds good. It does sound
Wait,
about
isn't it the
right,
other way around?
given it kind of does have a bit of a keyhole, so to speak. Is there any word on Jackie? Was that the name?
Wait, is it a card key
Your
or is
little
it a
rat
key
friend.
key?
It's a
Card key for
key.
the stairs, key for
Key
the staff.
Okay.
For the staff.
Okay. So Jackie's gonna jump out of the vent, assuming he can and not fall like 10 feet.
Mhm.
Can he? Is he safe?
I'm gonna give it to you. Yeah, he's safe.
Okay. I don't want him to fall 10 feet. He's just a little rat.
He's
So
just
what's
a
he see in the room
a
again?
little bean. Sorry?
What's he see in the room again?
It's pretty much like your standard garage. There's a huge door that is kind of open right now. It does have a truck in there, but it's empty because it already just got boxes and stuff.
Okay. Are there any like
Well,
I don't know,
there
desks
is,
or
however, a little
oh,
hanging. There is, however, a little hanging like spot to put one's keys on, but
I was gonna
none of the
ask that.
keys really seem to match up with what you're looking for.
Okay. Can Jackie go over there and Oh, actually, Koda can't do it, but Jackie ironically can. Can he read any what the keys say, like where they go to?
It sounds like one of them is just like pantry to kitchen. There's another one for the bathroom. There's
Again.
another one for the cleaning closet, but aside from that, there's nothing really too useful.
Okay, so Koda's gonna speak to the stone and say, Jackie doesn't see anything. Any look for something particular?
Let's get to the. It would be best if we could figure out who's most in charge on shift right now.
Well, I wish
That does sound like a good plan.
I wish
We
I
should
could have
probably try
asked
and look
Raymond
around.
that before I left.
There is one thing though that I want Jackie to look for.
Mhm.
This one's actually Jackie's idea. He wants to see if the van is pick up a moving company van or anything like that in the area.
Sorry, I blanked.
Okay, so Jackie's on his own. This is his own idea. He's looking around to see if
Yeah.
the van or anything in the area has the "You Pick a Moving Company" logo or whatever on it.
Not really. Aside from the bulletin board with the keys on it, there's like a tiny business card for the UPA company, but aside from that, there isn't really anything of use.
Okay,
Well,
so it's
there's
just pretty much
evidence
an
that
empty
they were
room.
here.
Pretty much.
Yeah. All right.
Oh
So
yeah, they were the ones that did bring the staff and everything over.
yeah,
That's
that's basically what you might
that's
expect.
the extent of their job.
So basically, there's nothing in there unless I can roll perception or investigation.
No, but the thing you do pick up is this would be a good way to enter or exit the building if need be.
Yeah. Okay then. So Jackie's just gonna go crawl his way back in the vents and start making his way back to, well, to the dressing room really, because that's where it starts to branch off.
Yeah. All right, and then I think we'll flip back to Mersel and Meta for a moment, because I feel like as you two are going to try to head back to the rest of the group, you actually might find yourselves together, and you kind of have a moment to talk.
Is
Um,
Hello,
dead?
huh?
hello, hello, hello.
Is Rose talking right now?
I can't
I
tell.
finished.
I see a creep.
Oh no.
but I can't hear
Oh
anything.
no.
I
Refresh.
hear you now. I hear you now. I hear you now. Hello.
Okay. Yeah, I had finished. I had said he went back in the vent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no,
So
So
my
now
my
it's
thing
just
was randomly
you.
flashing.
It's just Marcel and Meta right now. I
Yeah.
feel like in the meantime, the rest of the group has already gone to the exhibition room, but in the meanwhile, it's just the two of you in the hallway for a moment.
So
Um,
I was looking at Meta, like, found anything new?
only that um the stairwell key and the case key are very likely and quite smartly different keys. Unfortunately, whoever designed this place was intelligent. And that the narrators say that we should go to the exhibition hall. And he like pauses for a minute, grins, kind of elbows Marcel on the side, and says, "Smooth moves out there, by the way."
And Sol kind of like goes red and goes, "You think? I wasn't very sure, but well, I'm
You did great.
well, it's up to Raymond now." And then he actually kind of like gives like a little sniff and goes, "Although that rooster complaining about how he couldn't finish his work with all his coworkers around, just cook." He looks actually kind of like offended at that. Like it offends his personal pride. Cry him a river. He has to cook for an entire studio on his own.
And Meta laughs and sort of like Meta laughs and says, "Well, come on, we can't all be superhuman."
Well, we're all teams.
Good point.
As you guys,
Screw that guy
as you
then.
guys are talking, you actually overhear a voice behind you, and for some reason, it feels familiar. What did you say about exhibition? Exhibition room? Hey,
no.
kid.
And Cell turns around.
Oh no.
You turn around and you see a being who is fairly tall, but not as tall as you,
Oh
Mersel.
no. Oh, no.
And they have a bit of a purple and blue scheme about them.
Oh no.
And they look a little like this. It's a peacock.
Oh, thank God.
Oh good. Oh cool actually.
Yeah, I was so scared.
Okay.
Um,
Meta just sort of waves.
was
and
that
says-
about an exhibition, Paul?
Meta waves and says, "Oh, hey, yeah, we just got off break. We were told that we were supposed to check the exhibition hall."
Why do you need to check the exhibition hall, kid?
I don't know. We were just told to. Should I roll deception?
I don't recall about that being said. I don't recall seeing that on the schedule. Hold on. Can you give me the technical password?
Can I roll metatextual information to find that?
Oh
You could
jeez.
try.
That's probably gonna be a high roll.
29.
Hey, that's a good roll.
You hear
That's a
quite
good
a bit
roll.
from the narrators about this. Goes, okay, yeah, this guy definitely knows what this password is. And the reason why the password is there is so then they can check up that they are in fact an employee of the place. It's kind of like a security thing that they have amongst themselves. Some people forget to actually use it, but this guy seems to know his stuff. And you see that the security code for it is gems, gems, circle, gems.
Can you type that out for me?
That's
Really,
random.
it's more like emojis in thought.
That's so random. So it's Grolix.
sort of like Grolix, but not Grolix though.
It's a weirdly accented Grolix.
Ike, throw us a bone here, Ike. Throw us a bone.
Hold on, I'm typing it up. Hold on.
Yeah.
You could also say Meta just repeats it.
No, I want to say
Oh yeah,
it
you
in
can
Meta's
definitely
voice
say
because
it.
I know the
if you want.
line. I know the line. It's diamond, diamond, orange, circle, diamond.
You mean gem, gem, circle? Yeah, that's close enough. Okay, you're legit. Last I checked on my schedule, you guys were supposed to be working with some of the technology that they're putting into the ballroom, and then going up towards security to ensure everything is properly set for tomorrow.
Huh.
Well-
Damn. Sorry, I must have misread that on mine. We'll head over there. Thanks for the alert.
Don't let him find Pick.
So, why are you stalling in the hallway?
You are absolutely right. I am so sorry. Come on, Rich, let's go.
Yeah.
And he's gonna
Rich?
start dragging Mersel with him to go where he was told to.
Hey,
All
hey,
right.
hey, ease off on the dragging there.
Come on, Rich, we're running late.
Better to seem like a slacker than an intruder.
Yeah,
God,
that's exactly the kind of
I
hard
myself. I could have sworn I read that schedule right. Thanks for the information.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh-huh.
actually, speaking of which, I hear there aren't that many employees down in the kitchen. Something about the coworkers not coming on time. Could you check that out?
That is not my business. I don't handle that department. That is solely on whoever is in charge of that department for their team leader. I am focusing on you.
All right, and he just lets Meta drag him off.
That peacock's gonna be a problem.
That peacock is an actual cock.
Yeah, thank you.
Like that familiar.
Cut to Cloaker slowly pulling a crowbar out of his sleeve.
Cloaker, no.
Slowly puts it
Coda
back.
approves. Coda approves.
Actually, do you guys plan to go back to security, or are you going to try to go into exhibition anyway?
Well, I figure
I could have Jackie go ahead and go there, but I don't know how much good that'll do. It might be faster.
I mean, Mersel and Meta, are you two going to go back to
Ah.
exhibition anyway?
Well, are the others
Since
already
it's down
at
that
the
direction.
exhibition hall? Are the others already at the exhibition hall?
Yes, they've just opened the doors and entered the room.
I think
Yeah.
Sal might actually defer to Meta in this case because Meta seems to know what they're doing. He very much does not.
Oh, Meta has no idea what they're doing. Meta's a fucking liar. But
Meta,
he's
you might
going
be followed.
Huh?
You might be followed.
Yeah. He like casually snaps something out of his pocket. Actually, I'm gonna roll hammer space. Yeah, he snaps a compact out of his pocket that has a sort of mirror on it, just to check behind them as they're going, and like makes up amiable but
Benign.
seemingly situationally appropriate idle chatter to quote unquote Richard as they're going.
I mean, if they were being followed, Meta would probably be able to see, considering how Meta is dragging them along. Like they're like still seeing behind them. If that makes sense.
The
Yeah.
peacock follows for like a good minute, but then actually takes a look at his watch, pulls out the schedule from his pocket, or his hammer space rather. He looks at it, kind of gives it a weird look, and then he actually takes a dip into the ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
Which we've thankfully left.
We have evacuated the
I-
ballroom. We have
So you
evacuated the
realized
dance
something.
free from
floor.
them.
We
just
evacuated
realized
the
something.
dance floor.
You
What?
evacuated the dance floor.
Wait,
Now
hold on,
we brought the party back together. Now I don't have to worry about going
Rose,
back and forth because everybody's together.
Rose, what did you say?
I realized something. We were trying like as a side quest. We were trying to get through to the stairs, right? Can't Jackie just go there through the vents?
Technically, yeah, he could.
I mean,
But I'm not sure he's able to climb upwards, though, because the vent kind of goes upwards towards the ceiling to go to the rooftop.
that's fair. That's fair.
Let the rat do parkour, Ike. Don't be a coward.
Yeah, can we have
I don't even know if
acrobatics
this
for
rat
that?
can do parkour.
This is a very okay. Let me put it to you this way. Did you hear my forest game?
I have not, unfortunately.
Okay, so he's a woodland creature. In this scenario, it's kind of like a semi-toon animal. This rat could totally parkour.
Okay.
Should
In
we
that
get
case,
to the?
then you can explore the rooftop as well. Meanwhile, we're going to focus on the main party for a moment.
Here we go.
Well, with the peacock in the ballroom, we definitely can't go out through the terrace anymore.
Well, at least not at the moment, anyway.
Yeah.
Perhaps there's a different way to get out.
Well, Sal saying that kind of like out loud, like us and offside to Meta.
What a jerk. He's sus. I don't trust him. Anyway, yeah, Meta has like led us along for enough that like the guy was, suitably distracted and went to the thing, and then they sort of doubled around and making sure to stay out of the line of sight of the ballroom. They have actually headed to the exhibition hall.
All right. So you guys kind of make it in. You close the door quietly behind you, and you're matched up with the rest of the party. To kind of
I would
paint
like
the
to-
setting a little bit, first of all.
Oh, before
kinda
that,
like-
can I point out something?
Mhm.
I think it's about time I mentioned this. Koda's fur is standing on end and he's vibrating ever so slightly.
Oh God! Sal takes one look at Koda and goes, "Oh no, it's the sugar rush."
He's keeping surprisingly calm though, considering. But he's definitely vibrating ever so slightly.
Building up potential energy.
I think Sal
Exactly.
might actually. I think
Probably
Sal
for
might.
the best.
I think
Hmm?
Sal might actually pick Koda up and like carry him like a
Koda's
child.
hissing. Koda will struggle. I have to contest this. All right, I have to grapple my boy.
Consider this though, like consider this, like as Cell picks him up, he's like, come on, you're having sugar. If you come on, let me pick you up. If you do, I promise I'll give you more sweets after the heist.
I'm gonna struggle at disadvantage.
Maybe we shouldn't talk
Oh
about the
my
crime
gosh.
out loud.
And he looks at D and like, do you, and like the expression on his face is clearly, do you want to switch places? Do you want to be picking up the sugar rush child? Do you wanna D? Do you wanna Cloaker?
I couldn't hear that. I couldn't hear what you said.
Oh, Cell's just like looking at Cloaker, and the expression is just like, do you want to switch places with me? Do you want to try and corral this sugar rush child right now? You want to, Cloaker? You sound like you want to.
Eh, I'm gonna go work over here real quick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to roll
What does the
athletics.
exhibition hall look like?
Okay. While this is going on, to paint the scenery for you just for a bit, it's kind of like a very narrow hallway, but it's not that narrow. You could probably fit each of you across. It's almost like a bridge actually, because on both sides there are different displays, and it's like there's 3 pedestals on each side lined up, and some of them have regular items like clothing and just your mundane things that Toons would have, such as, you know, hammer space, anvils, and what have you. And yet, on one of them sits all of your items. All of them. You can see the bracelet just sitting right in front of you. You can see some of the thieving stuff that Cloaker has been holding on, but no longer has at the moment. You could see the scarf that belongs to Koda. It's all there.
Cloaker's item was actually a matchbox that was full
Oh,
of
yeah,
little
yeah, yeah.
trinkets.
I was trying to remember. Sorry.
All right.
It's all good.
I want to point out
But yes, you do
I
see
did
these
have
items on the
Koda.
pedestal though. But the pedestal is kind of a ways out, so it's not like you can just reach out and grab it.
Yeah,
I-
Rose, what did you say?
Yeah, I did have Koda do this for a reason, because if he saw the scarf immediately, he was gonna go for it.
Oh god.
Ah.
You said you were gonna make a struggle. Like
I need you to roll athletics.
Oh,
I
this
thought you
is the
said you were
struggle.
gonna roll at disadvantage.
No, I'm at disadvantage. You can have it normal. I'm giving the benefit here
Athletics?
because you did mention candy as a reward if he stops.
Can I argue dexterity? Because like you're kind
No,
of
that's how grappling works. You gotta use athletics.
Oh shit. This is not good.
Sorry.
16. Not actually
Oh,
that.
nice. All right, so I'm gonna use my own athletics. That's a +3, so roll twice.
Ha! Not one.
And we got ourselves in that one.
That's advantage. You can't get any lower than that.
Actually, it's not even it's actually a Lalu in this case. It's a lucky.
Yeah, like
So yeah, Koda's restrained, but he's pouting and he's hissing.
Probably
his
for the
tail
best,
is
actually,
looking
because
back and forth.
the more you begin to look around the room, you realize there are red lasers kind of going about each of the pedestals.
It's a good thing we restrained Koda.
actually I can Mersel roll like perception on like the pedestal like
Mhm.
that you said had their items on it just to double check that everything's there.
Yeah. And I'll give you something if it ends up being extra good. And
Well-
it's not.
Can I do the same
You
thing?
try. Sure.
What am I rolling?
To answer
Koda-
I would say perception.
Okay. What's my
Koda's gonna
perception?
do it as well because he's hyper vigilant due to the candy.
Okay. I'm gonna say for what happens with Mercel's view, first of all. Mersel, you try to look at it, and while you're like the tallest person, you have the easiest view. Yeah, you can sort of tell you feel like it's bright, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like much if you think about it. But
Can I argue advantage? Because again, you did say that he has the tallest.
oh, you know what?
Can I argue that Koda's being
sure,
held at
sure,
that
sure,
height? Koda's being held at that height.
Yeah, good
Yes.
at that height.
Okay, I give
14.
advantage. Yes.
14, come on, 14.
Am I allowed
Okay.
am I allowed to ask for advantage because I am a detective and artifact retriever by nature?
Because I kind of actually want to
That one
describe
even
this
makes
in the
more
way I want to
sense.
describe it, actually. Yes.
Come
Go for
on,
it.
come on, someone throw us a bone.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Come
Okay,
on.
so with probably at most a 14 coming from all of you, a 14.
Actually,
I think
I'm gonna use like my last luck point because this is frustrating.
Honestly.
Okay, with a 16, you do pretty good. From what you can see, yes, everyone's items are indeed on the pedestal. And if you look above, there is in fact the air vent. There is an air vent directly hanging above it. It's kind of like as if the space that is there, there's just enough room for something small to kind of go through, go in and grab it out if they really, really felt like it. But, huh, seems a little tricky when all the lights and lasers are up.
Hardcore
Can
rat.
Meta grabs their stone of far speech and says, "Hey, Pick, how would you feel about knocking out the power?"
To do that, I don't think I'd be able to do that right now. I wouldn't want to cause any suspicion,
No,
but
no,
I
no, not right
could
now,
keep.
but like tomorrow night. Do you think you could knock out the power for us for say 10, 15 minutes?
I could certainly try. I could definitely try to do that, and then maybe you guys can I don't know, try to sneak in something. Yes, I'll try. I'll
Mhm.
give it my best.
That's all we can ask of you. Thanks, love.
No problem. Now keep safe and don't be too long in there, because I feel like there's a purple looking employee moving towards this way.
Oh,
Shit, we should get going.
wait! Just to be clear, all the items are there.
Yes, they are
All,
all there.
all of them,
Yes.
because some got 2 things stolen, and you only mentioned one.
Yep, all of them are there.
All right.
So what's there?
Overall, there is the matchbox and such that belongs to Cloaker. There is a scarf neatly folded up belonging to Koda. There is also a red bracelet belonging to Mersel, but also there's a pin that also is with the bracelet, which you can only assume also belongs to Mersel. I would share the reference, but I actually did not save the reference for that
Isn't something missing?
item in particular.
I did. But you know what? Let's not show the reference just yet.
Okay. But basically, from afar, you can tell it's a pin. It's shiny. That's about as much as you really
Shiny
need to know
pen.
anyway. But
Okay.
yeah,
Can I just
you should
say,
probably start moving towards the front, perhaps. There might be an easy way to get out.
yeah, there's not lasers like crisscrossing across the hallway, right?
No, it's only on the part of like the actual exhibition stuff. The hallway itself is fine.
Okay, so yeah, we should head forward and go out the doors. Don't act suspicious.
But wait,
wait.
don't we need to
Want
find a
Koda
key still?
Yeah.
We need to find who's the head of the shift and maybe find that key.
Well, I think we have
Maybe
our
there's a work that
answer.
way.
I think we have our answer, don't we? It has to be the peacock.
You never know.
I think right now we should focus on getting out of where we were explicitly told not to be.
All right. Let's go.
All right, so you guys head on downwards. You make it towards kind of like that main hallway area. And eventually you can also look down a little further, down a couple of the steps in front of it, and there's the main lobby room. And now there's a couple of birds we have not focused on at all this session, Kiwi
no.
and Otis. Now, montage time, essentially. Otis and Kiwi have been wandering around the building multiple times. They've been kind of just casually wandering around, slowly paddling their way through that whole circle, and then doing it again, and then again, and again. And they're both just talking to each other, just kind of having a nice time. And Of course, at some point, they do realize, oh yeah, hey, the front door is open. It's actually wide open. I don't know why. It's snowy out. It's cold. Would they be worried about that? So Otis and Kiwi, they kind of saunter their way over to the front door. And leading up to this point where you guys are beginning to see eye to eye, you see them talking to a guard for a hot moment before the guard then shoos them off and they walk away.
Huh.
And the guard,
Okay.
you see him more from behind, but he is, let me put it this way, he's probably about as tall as Mersel by maybe like an inch taller, give or take.
Oh,
He
that's
has large
tall.
horns, and well, he is standing quite tall, quite proudly at the front door, and he looks a little like this. He looks like a bull.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh.
And he's as
Now,
taller than Mersel. Oh god,
by
that's
a
not.
little bit.
By like an
He's-
inch.
It's the
not that
horns.
Yes.
It's the horns.
It's the horns in the hat.
Mersel
he is-
look at this and it's like, oh no, in turn.
As he is standing there, he kind of gives a gentle huff and crosses his arms. He's looking out the front doorways, and on the little loop that is sticking out from his pocket, there lies a key.
Flipping horse.
Now, I want to remind you guys, you may have some stuff that might.
Oh, I cut out for me. What did I say?
Sorry, I missed that. What?
No, what did you say? You cut out for me, so I left and refreshed.
Oops. Yeah, no, my internet hiccup too. Pretty much what happened. Like, there is a key sticking out. I don't suppose you guys got stuff on hand that might be useful. Who knows?
I still don't know what my bomb thing does other than make stuff.
Activate crowbar.
Tragic.
No!
I'd
Tragically,
rather pickpocket.
No.
Cell does not have like a mage hand cantrip tragically, because so he has nothing.
I think
I
that might
could
be a little
I
obvious.
feel like you guys need to be quiet because he is right there.
Wasn't there that?
Pick. What do you remember what Kiwi's bombs were like?
Yeah, I was gonna say. The bomb
Can I
thing.
say that I do have an idea in mind if necessary?
Go ahead and say it then before they finish their conversation.
I mean, Meta is dressed. His uniform is only disguised self. He can snap his fingers and turn it red.
I was gonna suggest
Okay.
that. but
Um,
The
no,
security
he
guy might know
um,
the other security guys.
Yeah.
But I could say
Koda's
that
not
like,
gonna say this, but
I could have Meta say that he's new.
But I think that would be a last resort. Like if Meta brings it up, Cell's like, oh yeah, let's keep the idea open, but last resort.
Can I just try and pickpocket him?
No,
You could
not.
try.
You're going to ruin our chances, but okay.
wait. Okay, Koda's who had the other bomb? Not the one Koda has, but the other bomb. Koda's gonna go with them and
That's
chart.
Marcel's.
Mersel
Yeah.
has another bomb.
Yeah, he's gonna tug on Marcel's pant leg, I guess.
Well,
Because he's
he's
short.
carrying Koda. He's still carrying
Oh,
Koda.
that's right.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, he's gonna squirm a little bit and poke Mersel in the chest. You have bomb.
The bomb? Well, that would
Confetti bomb.
Well, yeah, that would certainly cause a distraction, yeah, but well, what do you guys think?
I was gonna suggest that I could talk to him to keep him still while Cloaker does his pickpocketing thing, but
Well, you
Perhaps you can use the bomb if the conversation doesn't go very well.
yeah, that's probably the better option.
Seems plenty distracted right
Put me
now.
down.
I don't even know what the bomb does.
Well,
sets off a bunch of confetti.
Put me down.
But I mean, just because it's called a confetti party bomb.
It's probably similar in design to a boogie bomb if what they say it was any indication. And a boogie bomb makes you dance.
A what bomb?
A boogie bomb.
What?
You should.
What do you, what? I've never heard of that before.
So Cloaker's gonna start moving towards them.
Yeah,
Okay.
Meta, you better.
Go ahead and make your rolls then,
down.
if you're gonna try pickpocketing from this bull.
Do you want me to roll stealth or sleight of hand?
I would say sleight of hand.
No, but really,
Okay.
though, Koda is
Can I-
squirming. He wants down because think
Can
about
I
it.
please try and distract this guy before Cloaker gets over there because I feel like he's going
He's
to
a little
notice
late.
if
He's
he's
on
just
his way.
listen. I can do Misty Step to make it look like I'm coming from somewhere nearby, but not behind, and
Well,
talk to
go
him that
for it.
way.
Go for it.
He's
before-
already in conversation.
Go
isn't he?
ahead.
No, he's not.
No,
He's just
he already
kidding.
shooed off the birds, and the birds have left.
Okay, so Meta's going to real quick clap their hands, or not clap, but like pat their hands together very quietly. Their outfit changes to match the security, and Misty Step over to somewhere nearby, and they're going to approach this bull guard from that position and be like, excuse me, sorry, I was told to look for someone else on the security team. I'm sorry, it's my first day. I'm a little nervous. Can you tell me where I'm supposed?
The bull kind of just stares you down silently, and he gives a huff. You can see steam kind of like huff out from his nostrils. He doesn't seem to be
Jeez.
very.
Well, is that distracted enough at least? Is he looking at Meta so that Cloaker can do the sleight of hand?
Oh yes, he's definitely looking at Meta, and he
Alright.
also takes a moment to think and goes, "Okay, what is the event password?"
Is that the same as the technical password? I'm asking this out of character.
Nope, it's a different password.
Okay, guess I'm rolling metatextual information again. Please
So
have to say-
OP. It's so OP.
Actually, no. I'm gonna cast a spell. So meta disguises this as a sort of nervous fidget playing with their pendant. But they are going to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay, can you remind me how that goes again?
They can read
Absolutely.
surface
Is that the
thoughts, but
kind
if
of-
they try and dig deeper, there's a save.
Yeah.
I think I need to read it to understand it. I'm sorry.
I'll pull it up.
Here, I'll copy paste it. I have it open.
Yes, that would be helpful.
But meanwhile, Vamp, Koda is squirming. He wants down.
Whoa, okay.
Before he puts Koda down, he goes, What do you want to do again?
Don't hold me. We work here.
And he's looking at Koda and making sure that Koda isn't still like jittery and sugar rushed and about to disappear.
Oh, he's still vibrating, but he's definitely still vibrating, but he's scowling at Mersel, like, seriously, kind of scowl.
But because this says the surface thoughts of the creature, I figure if
Okay.
he's
I
asking
see.
me the password, he's probably thinking of the password, so I would be able to know it.
That's a good point. All right. If you're really gonna use that, then the password
One of my two
that you're
spell slots.
the password that he is thinking of is let me look up the thing again really square
Oh, I should mention.
triangle.
Sorry, could you type that out? But also, I should
Yes, I'm
mention that
typing it out right now.
I should mention that Meta did also change their face to go with the change of the uniform, just so if purple asshole comes in here, he doesn't recognize their face and say, "Hey, why are you in a different uniform?"
I will say that Saul has probably put Koda down at this point. Once he's here, they're not gonna cause trouble.
Koda straight.
It's a, of course it's a triangle, square, triangle. Triangles are pointing up, and there's blue background. And I think that's the right one. That's the right one, right? That's the right one.
He gives another huff. Yes.
And can I
This is
argue that Cloaker has advantage on the pickpocketing because Meta is being distracting?
Yes.
Does a 17 make it?
Such a generous
Oh, a
DM.
17 definitely makes it.
He will
It's a-
very carefully just reach out and slowly unhook the key and then tuck it into his glove.
All right. Meanwhile, the bowl in Kingston. So what was it you're trying to ask again?
Sorry, it's my first day on shift. I was told that I should find somebody in charge of the shift, and I don't actually know who that is. So I was wondering if you could tell me who's in charge, and if you are the one who's in charge, if you could tell me where I'm supposed to be right now.
I am the one in charge.
Oh,
Wait.
Hi. Pleasure to meet you.
Wait, sorry to interrupt, but is the
You're
pool
late.
30 feet from Cell?
Sorry, what was that?
Sorry to interrupt, but is the pool 30 feet from Cell?
Yes, it's like actually closer by a bit.
Alright, so when
Like you guys are fairly close.
as soon as Cloaker like pocketed to like just took the key and like
Mm-hmm.
tucked it away, Cell casts minor illusion so that it looks like the key is still on the bull's like person.
Okay, all right.
That's only gonna last so
Yeah,
long.
that's only gonna last so long, but
It's
at
fine.
least at least they have 1 minute longer than they otherwise would have. Also, it's a cantrip, so he can just recast it.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it line of
so-
sight country?
Uh,
Well, what was the question?
I asked if it's a line of sight cantrip, but that one goes to Mersel.
blah 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 blah. It honestly doesn't specify. Like all it says is that the illusion can't be larger than like a 5-foot cube if it's off an image.
Yeah, I remember that. I
And,
remember that part.
and like obviously if the bull
I guess it's up to Ike.
yeah, and if the bull tried to pick up the keys, like it will obviously the hand will obviously like go
Go right through it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And of
It's
course,
just for
we don't
show.
want to alarm this bowl anytime soon.
Yeah. But yeah, it should work.
He
Like-
huffs and he kind of down.
Oh god, not again.
I cut out.
Oh, it's
cut out.
He stares down at you very seriously. Like, okay. First of all, you were late. Very late.
I'm so sorry.
Second of all, you should be entering and looking out for things on the left-hand side of the building.
Right, sorry.
That's
Thank
fine.
you.
It's only your first day. Don't
Thank you,
do it
sir.
again.
Of course not.
Uh-huh.
I promise. Cross my heart.
Uh-huh.
Cloaker's already
And-
taking off for the opposite end of the hall.
Good.
And Meta is going to like keep up sort of a grateful babble right up until Cloaker has gotten out of sight. And then they're going to say,
Mhm.
seriously, sir, thank you. I'm so sorry. This won't happen again. And then they are going to run off in the direction they were directed.
All right. Which I think it would be just past the bowl. You kind of go back through the exhibition hall to go that way.
Mm-hmm.
So you're still in the building.
Yeah.
And
Also,
of course, you meet up with the rest of you guys. You're back in the hallway, back on the other side.
Also, I should mention that Meta's disguise for this one is because a lot of the staff here seem to be animal toons. they disguised themselves as a very shy, nervous-looking axolotl.
Oh,
Wait, shoot, what was it? My
Cute.
internet cut out. I'm sorry.
Oh,
so cute.
They disguised themselves as a very shy and nervous-looking little axolotl.
Oh. Oh gosh. But yeah, you guys make your way back to the hallway. You seem to be all together for the most part.
yeah.
Well, I think we can.
Yeah.
Wait, we need to scan. We need to scan the key. Because
I mean, we're
we
not
can't
getting
just
it
take
back
it.
to him.
Well, we can put
We
it somewhere and he can find it later. But
Yeah,
we
we
need,
could give
to scan it.
All right, I'll scan it.
Okay.
I guess we could plant it on Randy or whatever.
Probably. That should give him something to do, hopefully.
Let's see.
It
What else
takes a
do we
couple
need to
All
do?
right, so Koda holds up a hand.
Mm-hmm.
Check on Pick.
Ah, that's right. And then she pulls out the Stone of Far Speech again. Hey, Pick. I think we got about just about everything done. Are you able to exit that room anytime soon? Because we do need to get going.
Pick
Yeah.
is dead.
No.
No, I'm here. I'm not dead yet. Sorry, crude humor. No, I'm here. I have the system down for at least like maybe another hour, so the cameras won't pick up until then. I should be able to leave this as is. Yeah.
Make sure you pick up any evidence you might leave
Whereabouts?
behind.
Basing on the cameras, there isn't much else I can see. There is a breaker in one of the closets as well. So if you're gonna take the power out, then the lights are gonna be part of that. Otherwise, it's just the
Someone
security.
taking notes?
Meta is taking notes. They have pulled a little bright red notebook out of their pocket and started scribbling.
Uh, wait a second. We can turn the lights out.
We can knock out the
Well,
lights,
with
yeah.
the breaker, yes. But you
Oh,
have to make sure that you can actually get into that closet, and I do believe there is a key card to getting into that closet.
yeah. I could get into the closet.
Wait a
I'm not
second here.
that worried.
Do you mean the key card in the storage room?
Not the storage room. I am talking about the cleaning closet.
No. The key card in the. Wasn't there a key in the storage room that said the storage closet?
If you're asking Pick would not know.
No, I'm asking you because Jackie was there. I thought there was one.
I think Jackie's still there.
Yes, there is a key
No, Jackie
right
left.
there. Yes.
Okay.
Koda holds up a hand again.
Yes.
Jackie saw key in storage.
Oh.
We should focus
Okay,
on
so
getting out of
perhaps-
here as fast as possible, but do you think maybe Jackie
Well,
can run over there real fast and grab it?
Well, how
What's
about
the
we
rush?
exit out that way? Because I feel like if it's a Pick, what did you say? What it was? I feel like you said something, but I can't remember. Oh yes. The storage room is also a garage. Right.
Pick before
So
we
should
leave.
we exit that way? Yeah.
Before we leave, steal that washroom key.
Okay. I don't know what you need it for, but okay. I mean, I don't expect you to go to the bathroom during a heist.
Yeah, but we might be able to put someone in there and keep it shut.
Oh, that's a good
Devious.
idea.
All right. And he takes the key. You can hear a
Devious.
jingle through the key of the Stone of Far Speech.
I just realized, by the way, we've gone like we're pushing 3 hours and we haven't had a single break.
I think we're
Oh,
almost done, aren't we?
We're almost done. We are indeed almost done.
Just got a
Yeah.
bail.
Thank
Uh,
goodness.
good
But yeah, all you guys really
question.
got to do is exit the area.
Should Jackie parkour?
If Jackie wants to parkour.
No, I mean, like, do you guys want him to go up there?
Oh yes, to like the rooftop.
Yeah, because we never did go there.
Well, we do have birds that can go to the roof.
Yeah, but is it the roof, or is there like?
I think we're bailing. I don't know if we want to keep Jackie separated from the group
Well,
for much
that's
longer.
the thing. Jackie's been there for probably like 20 minutes now,
No.
so he could have easily been doing this during the conversation.
Yeah.
Oh yes, we can definitely go back in time and basically go over what happens in that moment. If you really want
Okay.
to. That's up to you.
Hmm.
So if you want to do parkour, sure. If not, then well, the party's got to get out this building. That's for sure. And find Otis and Kiwi while at it.
Oh no, what happened to Kiwi? Well, Cloaker's definitely gonna be making his way out.
So Rose, did you want to go over the parkour, or did you want to
Okay.
try to get out?
Okay. No, I was well, I mean, I guess Koda brought it up earlier, and we never really went over if he was going to do it or not.
Okay. So we'll go over that first, and then we'll go with the exit after that. So
So would you
Jackie
guys?
pretty much does. I'm gonna give it to Jackie just for time's sake. Jackie manages to parkour up the air ventilation. It's a little slippery. It takes a little bit, especially for a rat his size, but you managed to get out, and out the other end, it's just the rooftop. It's kind of just your standard rooftop. You can see other rooftops of the other buildings nearby,
Okay.
and that's about it.
I wasn't sure if there was anything like if there was just another level there, or if it was actually the rooftop.
Wasn't the
Yeah,
lizard
no,
meeting
this
someone
is
up
just
here?
the actual rooftop.
Okay, so then yeah,
Yeah, wasn't Raymond meeting someone up on the rooftop?
He was,
Are they still there?
but nobody seems to be up there at the moment.
Oh, he left them high and dry.
No.
I guess so.
What is-
Listen,
But for the sake of love.
I'm sure a true friend would understand that he was getting some.
But what if that
Oh,
person had a crush
likely.
on Raymond?
Oh no.
Oh,
Don't
the
make me
drama.
make my own OCs. Don't make my NPCs date each other. Competition.
Just imagining, like, I'm just imagining this is like Cloaker is saying this out loud, and while they're like exiting the building, they're just like,
yeah.
Oh my
I don't know.
goodness.
Maybe
So
you
I'm gonna
ruined
have
someone else's shot at love.
"What
Well, that's quite
what
nice
did you
and all, but
expect
we
me
should
to
get
do?"
going.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Jackie seeing nothing and not seeing the co-workers, shall we say. He's just gonna go back through the vents and head back to the garage because he. Oh, actually, that's the problem. It's been more than an hour. Okay. So in this case, I think what he would actually do is he would go to the dressing room and exit out that vent because he figured that'd be a good escape route. Koda's gonna have to find his rat.
We've
So
left
wait,
a
which way
member
is he going
behind.
again?
He's going to the dressing room exit.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
as you
Koda's
guys,
gonna have to find his rat.
but you also have to get the key.
We have the key.
Or
Yeah, we're going to
the
the
other
storage
key.
room.
Your
I
cleaning
think
closet key.
what Jackie would do is Jackie would go to the front lobby. Like like actually to the front where around where we saw Otis and Kiwi leave. But he would go there at a loss of where to find where to find Koda. So he's just gonna go there through the dressing room and make his way all the way around or whatever.
In the meanwhile, I believe the rest of the party, you guys begin to make your way towards the storage room. Because you did hear, oh yeah, it's a garage. You could easily just walk out the garage way.
Something
Yeah.
tells me it's not going to be that easy, but
Yeah, I don't need any
No, I think it is.
contextual knowledge to be sus. But then again, it is nearing the end of the game.
yeah.
So Koda goes ahead and points out where the keys are, despite them being pretty obvious.
Oh, so it is. We should probably take the cleaning closet key as well, or at least take note of it. I feel like they probably leave it here for a reason.
Hey, I'm taking everything that's not nailed down.
Meta's going to very lightly smack Cloaker on the back of the head.
His head deflates for a second.
Oh my god.
Ow.
So you're taking the key, I see.
Fine. And Cloaker, looking into the hallway, makes sure no one's in there, and then just flicks it down the hallway.
Flicks
Did we
what
get a
down the
scan of
hallway?
the key?
I got the scan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
You'll just think he dropped it.
Koda.
That sounds like a reasonable.
Koda's gonna go ahead and actually he's gonna hold up the hat he's wearing and wave it around.
Mhm. Oh yes.
Someone's missing their uniform.
Hmm. Well, we could probably just leave it over here. I don't think it's too out of the ordinary to find personal belongings of employees around here.
Meta grins and like gestures for the hat to be set down, and then pulls a notepad out of their pocket and scribbles down "I quit" on it.
Ooh,
Amazing.
devious. Okay. So you just plop it onto the floor. There sits a little note on top.
For forgetting someone.
Pick.
Pick. Oh, pick. And she pulls
Are
out
we
this note of
missing
hers and begins, where are you? I'm on my way.
We're
I'm on my way.
missing.
I'm on my way.
We're missing.
So
Koda's
where are we
hat
exiting?
floor.
Where are we exiting? The left or the right?
Garage.
Garage. Okay.
Do you see?
I
Do
will
you
meet
see
you out.
Jackie?
I'm gonna just meet you guys like right outside front lobby, basically.
Pack, do you see Jackie, Pack?
Jackie, what?
Koda's
What about
scowling heavily.
Can I cast a spell real fast? Because I do
Yeah.
have one more spell slot left today, and I have locate object.
You need locate person.
Jackie
With that.
does Jackie count as a person character, or is like could I find
I
Jackie with locate object?
I would say person, but I guess that one's up to Ike.
I
would say person too, yeah.
Ah, damn. I don't have that one.
But if you want to do it for the sake of thematics, I would allow it though.
Okay.
Just how much of a person does Meta think that Jackie is?
Don't ask that question.
It depends on. No,
It's
you
the
don't
rat.
insult
What do you think
Koda.
about?
Wait, is Jackie wearing anything? Like, does Jackie have like a ribbon or a tie around their neck or
Jackie
anything?
has a neckerchief, a little tiny neckerchief.
Then they are going to locate the neckerchief and not the Jackie.
I think the first step is to ask Koda. Are you asking Koda this?
I mean, they've met Jackie, remember?
Oh yeah, good point. They have. I mean, if
So
you
they're going-
remember, sure.
Yeah, I mean, Meta's got a good memory, so they're going to cast
Okay.
locate object on Jackie's little neckerchief.
That's deplorable. I mean, adorable.
Deplorable.
Deplorable, huh?
Okay,
gosh,
so
okay. Where is Jackie?
Lobby.
actually in front of the lobby,
like
but yes.
the front
In front of the lobby.
Okay then. Well, that's convenient. Pick. We will see you at the front lobby, I guess, outside, because I don't think we want to stick around that other guard for very long. I don't know what you're talking about, but sure thing.
Koda gives Meta a grin.
Meta finger guns at him and smiles and says, "Location spells are frightfully useful. 10 out of 10 would recommend." And then they like clap lightly and change their disguise back into themselves. Sort of. It's the version of themselves they were wearing when they first met you.
Ah. And I take that you guys exit
That's a
out
phrase
like
you don't
the
hear every
garage
day.
area, and then you head back towards the front.
Do we see anyone
Is this
outside?
what you guys do? You do. You see Otis and Kiwi. They have returned to that front of the building again. It looks like they must have taken another loop of the building, and over time they have managed to come back. And lo and behold, you take a peek into the front door, and that guard is no longer there, but rather the peacock is now there. And the
No,
peacock is arguing with Otis. Ooh,
That's
what's the
not
roll?
important.
The roll was for Koda rummaging around in his fur, aka his hammer space, and he pulls out candy, which he shovels into his mouth.
Sal looks at that candy, and can I roll inside to see if, like, hey, is that candy mine?
He's shoveling in his mouth very quickly.
I
He's been
Then choose faster.
mine.
Oh my god.
Sal notices nothing. Sal has taken his eye off the child.
Have we met Jackie outside? Is Jackie here? We can't leave our friends.
Jackie's in the front still.
Yes. I believe, like, with that, you can see Jackie is just running out of the front and sees you and then goes back up to you. Pick also manages to make his way over from the other side of the building. And meanwhile, you see Otis and Kiwi. They are arguing with this purple bird. No, I swear I was supposed to be in here today. You know, I had a whole thing. My friends and I.
Did I cut
Uh,
out for everyone, or is it me?
Yeah, I
I
cut
cut out
off.
for everyone.
I heard it.
They're basically arguing. Otis is implying that their friends and them are supposed to be inside today in this venue for whatever reason.
Otis is the ostrich, right?
Ostrich.
Yes. But yeah, no,
Cloaker's gonna walk up.
I was saying, I swear on it. My friends and I were supposed to
Wait.
be in here, and
Can I-
we were gonna have so much fun. We were gonna explore the place.
Hey,
and,
big
like,
bird.
we were going.
I have
we
the
were,
cantrip
huh?
message. Can I use the cantrip message real quick?
Sure.
Oh, can I?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
what
Sorry,
did you
D.
want to do?
Cloaker's gonna walk up. Hey, you two. We're meeting in the
Huh?
building next door. I've been looking for you for the past hour.
But no, I was pretty sure it was this one.
And Meta's
Uh,
going to
No.
cast a
Otis.
message to Otis and
Otis.
say, coast
Otis.
clear.
Otis, no. Otis, listen. It's that building. Huh. Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm
'Cause I mean-
sure. I'm not paying you guys for the hour you missed.
And then sending message. You wanted to use message?
Yeah, Meta is going to send a message to Otis, like, we cleared the building. Get out.
You see Otis kind of like perk their head up, like, oh. And he kind of starts just sheepishly smiling at the peacock. You know, it's my misunderstanding. We got some stuff to do. Yeah, cheerio. Goodbye. And begins to rush back to the rest of
bird.
you. Meanwhile, the peacock just kind of stares there, utterly confused.
Yeah, Cloaker will try
Bird.
and play off the bit where he's kind of berating them as we walk away. Because I'm the only
And
one not
as you guys
wearing
do
one of
walk away,
the uniform.
Well,
I'm
Meta
gonna
is
go
also
ahead and
no
say-
longer in uniform because Meta switched their disguise back to red coat and hat.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Coda never met the
and during
peacock.
this time too, Dahlia has tossed off disguised self and is just
Rose,
normal
are you
bird
saying
at this
something?
point.
Oh, here we go again. Okay, once.
Oh, you're back. Oh, never mind, you're gone. Hello, Rose.
Rose,
Rose?
Rose, do you hear us, Rose?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I
Hello,
can hear you
hello.
guys. What were you saying, Rose?
Rose, do
Rose.
you speak?
I can't
Do
believe
you
Rose
live?
is dead.
Yeah, I'm
Oh
Sometimes
not
no!
hearing anything from Whirl.
Koda's too busy on his candy to do anything.
But Koda is at that point where I missed everything, but I'm gonna say this is in character. Koda has been absorbed, and he's at this point where since they're out of danger, he's vibrating his like uh, tripled, quadrupled even in intensity. And it looks like he's hovering off the ground slightly, and he's not using his wings. He's
As you guys
completely
are wondering, he
lost
could.
track of everything.
Oh,
Except
he's
for
just like
Jackie's arrival,
candy is
he
good.
did pay attention for that, and he did give a little bit of candy to Jackie.
Aw.
And
Probably not
and
good for the rap, but he's doing it anyways.
and Grolix Cloaker murmurs, pen guide me. Just watching Koda just shake violently.
Meta is going to like
Koda
grab.
managed to hold it in.
Meta is going to grab Mersel's like lapel, drag him down, and whisper in his ear, "Tomorrow, no candy. Clear the hammer space if you have to. Jesus Christ."
And you see Cell kind of like start sweating because that's a lot of sweets he has in his hammer sleeve. That's literally
It's like, do you know who you're talking to, Meta?
yeah, it's legitimately part of his design. Like he just goes, I'm not sure I can.
And hide them better. Make them look like soap.
Can't you put him in your hammer space?
No, my hammer space is in my jacket pocket, not my hat.
I mean, I
Dahlia
could put him
kind
in
of leans
mine, but it's full of
into this
needles.
conversation for a moment.
Needles?
Dahlia leans into the conversation. Perhaps it might just be best we ensure Koda goes into a different hat then?
I only have this one.
A
Tomorrow,
different person's
mind if
hat?
you need a hat to access your hammer space. Just Jesus Christ, man.
Koda's begun to giggle.
Anyway.
It's a little disconcerting, actually.
Anyway, so we got the keys that we need, and we got to scan not only for the staff, but the key to the staff. I assume each of you got notes on where everything is.
And
Koda wasn't paying
Meta
attention the
raises
least.
the little red notebook, which seems to have had several pages used up.
Very good, very good. You are taking notes. We should be able to collectively talk more about this back at the HQ. Otis, Kiwi, did you guys catch anything? Well, we did have a nice talk to that bird back there. We also found like a bowl. We also kind of wandered around a bunch. There's not many exits to this building unless you want to do like the terrace thing again. But I can't fly or climb very well. But it's okay.
We got a bit of a look around from this fella Raymond. God, hope that romance thing he's got going on goes well. Anyway, we did a bit of a look around with him. He showed us where the fire exits are, so those might be a good way in.
Very nice. We will be able to talk about this a little later. For now, well, we should probably head back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not
Take a look
typically
at
a good
that
idea to
staff.
discuss crime openly in the
Yes,
streets.
no, definitely not. I don't want any prying ears to hear anything. I don't think that would
Wait,
be very
head
good.
count. Head count. We got everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's four. What? There's four birds, me, and me included. There's four of you. There's Aki. Amanda. Amanda's back at the HQ.
Yeah, Amanda.
What's
And
with her?
yeah, Sal's remembering how weird she acted, and he goes, "You said she was new?"
How new is she?
Yeah, she's very new to the team, but she's been very sweet, and I'm really glad that she's able to help us out a little bit.
I think we better
She
get
might be
back
able
to
to help us
HQ
keep
fast.
track of things.
Yeah.
she might be able to help us for the heist. Perhaps she could keep note of where things are, because we can't keep all of us in one room all the time, especially given the scenario of what's going on.
Let's get back quickly. Something bad vibes.
I think like Cell's actually going to look at Meta and like kind of like his expression's clearly like, did you get this? Did you pick up the same vibes I did?
And Meta like looks at him and they look a little nervous and they nod.
Oh, that's not good. That's
for
not good. If it was only Cell picking that up, he would have chalked it up to him being needlessly suspicious. But two of the party like thinking that Amanda was acting suspicious, that's not a good sign.
I mean, look, she was rushing us out of the place when we were discussing plans. That could have been really important. And she's been left there alone with the thing coming out of the printer while none of us were there to get it. I'm sus.
Is Meta saying this or is it Whirl?
This is Whirl saying this. Meta
I
has
think
Meta
I
has
think
all this mentally noted, but he's like, I just think we should get back really quickly to see if anything's happened.
Yeah, we should get back. How did Amanda join you again?
Oh, well, it's probably about as much as any other person would. You get an application and pretty much just sign up. And yeah, we just needed an extra hand because we always need somebody back at the HQ if the rest of us are, like, say, on a mission to re-find something for someone.
Okay. All right, let's just go back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think with that, I think that's the end of our game.
One thing.
Hmm?
I rolled, and I rolled poorly.
What did
What
you
did you
roll?
roll poorly?
During that whole conversation, while you guys are freaking out a little bit, Koda had been attempting to climb up Mersel and get to the hat.
You rolled poorly.
I
You
rolled
rolled
a 7
Like Mersel
of
clearly
stealth.
feels Koda climbing him, and he literally just his arms snap upwards to lift the hat off his head and like hold it out of Koda's reach. No.
No, you sticky
There's a
fingered little
whine from
gremlin.
Koda. He's whining now.
Meta
He's very
will like
pitiful.
think. Meta will think for a minute, then reach into his coat pocket and hang on.
Oh.
Yeah, he pulls out a chocolate bar from Abstract Medium Candies and is like, "Here, will this keep you satisfied?"
Dilated eyes. He dives for the candy.
Why are you giving them more candy?
Relax, that one's low sugar.
Oh,
You
Don't
better
tell
hope
him.
he whispered that.
Yeah, he
He has
whispered.
big ears. He has big
whi-
ears.
No, he didn't whisper. He used the spell message to tell that to Mersel.
Okay, okay.
Cloaker
And
pulls
with
out one of
that,
those strawberry grandpa candies and pops it in his
oh
own
my
mouth.
god.
Also,
Eats candy in front of Koda. Ouch.
Also, Koda, if you take a bite of the chocolate bar, it sets off little fireworks.
Koda's very, very amused by this. He's watching them with those really big round cat eyes.
oh my god, yes.
His
Yes.
ears are
He's
perked
just
up. He's
enamored
staring.
by this.
Yep.
With
In
that,
fact, they
we
turn a
kind of
little
ended our
purple.
game in a cinematic sense of things. You can
Yeah,
see
his
the
ears are a
party
little
is
purple
wandering
as
down the
as the
street.
game fades to
Wait,
black.
we're not gonna end it back at base?
Yeah.
Oh no, we're ending it here. We're ending it here because we got lots of planning to do, don't we?
I was just wondering if
Um,
anything had gone wrong while we were out.
yeah. I'm squinting.
I would like to check
Genuinely
in
want
on
to
Miss
know.
Amanda, please.
And
Okay.
also,
Okay.
like,
We'll
not
end it after Amanda then. So we return back to the main HQ, and it doesn't seem like anything's changed. Amanda's just been typing away busily on a computer, a very old school computer, and goes, "Oh, you're back. How
Hey,
did
anything interesting
how did
happen
that
while we were
go?"
out?
Not really, no. I did have a couple of calls for like, our main business, but I know that's not the top priority right now. But I did make note of it so then we can get back to it as soon as we possibly can.
Can Sal roll insight, please?
Sure.
12. 12. He
I will
also-
also roll insight.
All right.
Solidarity.
These two are sus. It makes sense that
Koda's still
though they're the ones with highest
That's a-
cars.
ouch.
That's a 9.
That's a nat one.
As far as you two can tell, she seems to be telling the truth. She's just been busy working and doing as she normally does, and was
the
ready
things
to
we
pick up
sent-
the call in case you guys got stuck at any point.
Okay, good. Is there any sign of the stuff we scanned?
Ah, yes, it's right over on Pick's computer, right over there.
Ah, rad.
Yeah. You guys take a look at the computer, and it's all there, all the information needed. It's almost like you're seeing like a 3D item being made in Blender.
What?
It kind of looks like a 3D
Nice.
program with 3D program
Nice.
stuff to make the staff and everything. And yeah, you kind of have a moment of success. And Pick just goes, yes, it worked. Okay, I'm going to print this out, make sure everything looks right, everything has the right consistency. It should be good. I tested it last night as well with a few items in the place, so we should be good. And with that, we ended off there.
Wait, hold on. Before we
I want to have one
before-
more song.
yeah, I
Oh,
also
okay, one more
It's
second.
past midnight. I gotta go to bed.
But let's wrap it up.
it's
Okay.
really Rose first.
Okay. I just want the image of Koda lounging on one of the desks, like plump, like his stomach's plump, and he's just lounging there with a content expression on his face.
All right, I'm going to do this really fast. Has it been a long rest since the last game?
I'm gonna say yes, because it has been overnight, right?
Yeah.
Ike said yeah. If it has been a long rest since the last game, Sal's just going to take out the tasty soup pot again because they
Okay.
haven't had dinner. They haven't
Alright.
it's about time that they should eat.
Yeah, and
Sounds
once
about
again, when
right.
he
We
takes
ended
that
off with
out,
soup once again.
and once again, when he takes that out, Meta says his goodbyes and goes to head back to the library.
That's fair.
And with that, we finally end the game. Thank you for
Sorry.
playing.
Thank you for running.
Yeah. Also, I
And
don't
we can stop the
know.
recording.
Yeah, you can stop the recording. Go back to sleep.